But
So,
I've got like seminarian Poindexters, watching my streams
yeah, we don't have
on
that
Thursday
problem.
nights, and they're like,
Is that like a Canadian thing? Because
seminarian Poindexters?
seminarian Poindexters. Yeah.
We're live now, aren't we?
We are
Yes.
totally live.
Right as
Hey,
soon as
everybody. Welcome to Bad
yay.
Science Sunday. We're your home for
Listen, I love my seminarian Poindexter audience.
they're not
It's
here.
no, they're definitely not. They're definitely not here. That's true. But bless them. They're
No,
good.
no, we all love our own people. you know, I've got mine in the chat. so,
I
so well,
Ma-
yes.
does anybody in your professional life even know that you do a show, Maya?
No,
Yeah. My
no.
lab does know, and some of them
oh,
occasionally have watched a few episodes. I don't think ever live, but I'm a little bit terrified of that. But
Why?
so
because, well, see, uh, there's a huge lack of appreciation in the physics department for actual demonology and how it relates to magnetism. Okay, and this is an issue that I feel very strongly about,
Are you
and
trying to
it's
get
very
booted?
not yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a bingo square. Ha! You're gonna have to
Mm,
work harder than that.
it is a
Okay,
bingo
so we
square.
have on Dr. Kip. So, what's the elevator pitch?
for me,
Mhm.
I'm apparently always on YouTube. I
You
think that's
are
it.
always on
So,
YouTube. I've seen
I
you
have a
so often.
I know. I have a channel. I do things on my channel about the Bible. I I'm a Hebrew Bible scholar and a specialist in early Judaism and the Dead Sea Scrolls. Um, I I don't know if you guys do, but I have actually worked with scientists, like real
I've never
ones.
done that. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even know what
You
science is.
no? Okay.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
when I did all that work on forgeries with Museum of the Bible and at the Scoian collection,
Well,
which
hold
is
on. Don't
yeah,
don't say your crimes out loud. But
no.
oh wait, you weren't forging. Sorry, I
I wasn't
misunderstood.
actually forging the documents, but I worked with chemists and physicists and yeah, I think that was it. But that was fun. I learned some things. So
Hey, Bart's
science.
here. I should have, yeah, Bart. I wanted to open up like Black History Month with like Black people, but then three of them dropped out. You know how we are. I should have looked for you.
I was.
What are we supposed
This
to
is
do with that, Maya?
We're moving on. Dr. Kip is talking about how he used to be in Dead Sea Scroll Land and would,
hmm
forge Dead Sea Scrolls because it's what you do.
it's what I do.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, but not so much of that on YouTube, I guess. I
You
do have
have
a
had a
channel.
busy day. Like, goddamn.
Yeah,
I've
I
seen
know,
you, like,
right?
this is maybe the fifth time I've seen you this weekend. God.
Yeah, I guess so,
Is
right?
it?
Because I was on Dapper's channel yesterday, and I did I did my own show on Thursday night. So yeah,
And earlier,
and oh yes, and I was on the Kentucky Atheist earlier this morning. So I'm a little tired, but I had a nap.
okay, you did get a nap.
I did get a nap.
All right, I'm proud of you
Good.
because I didn't think you would
So
do that.
I actually like it was a real nap. It wasn't like me just closing my eyes and pretending to sleep. I actually went to sleep. Uh for
How do you
and
know? Do you remember?
I well, I woke up. So
Oh, mhm.
yeah, that's my
that's
first clue
that's
that I
just what
could
your
sleep.
subconscious wants you to think.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I I was told that, and maybe that's really why I'm here, because when I was on the Kentucky Atheist, apparently it was very disappointing. that I did not say fuck nearly enough. So I'm here to make up for that.
Oh yeah, no. Normally I
Confessing my
don't have that
sins.
issue because
I
like
am
I drop enough
repenting.
fucks for the most people.
All right. Oh, let's fucking do this.
Let's fucking do this. All right. So, oh, whoops, I forgot to put you in here. Anyways,
What? Hold on. Why
so
is
okay,
this?
what? No, okay. So after what do you call it? Oh crap, where did you go?
That's what I was asking.
You're not here. It's just saying.
I
no
can hear you.
speaker.
I have no idea if the audience can hear you.
Oh
Here
no.
we go.
Oh,
There
I
we
bet.
go.
All right, here you go. Sorry, I forgot to do
Yay.
that. All right, you're here.
I'm
So,
here.
so
we
Billy
might-
Carson was bad on Joe Rogan, and it was all I heard you talk about for at least 2 weeks.
I know.
So I thought that I would, since you love Billy so much.
Billy isn't the star of tonight's show, though, honestly.
Is it
Right.
this other guy? I don't recognize.
It's this other guy.
Yeah.
You
He will
don't?
be-
Okay. We were wondering.
Yeah, we were thinking like, well, and he has said that he is such a huge biblical scholar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
He knows like all the things, and so you should definitely pay attention. I don't know how you didn't know about this biblical scholar, Dr. Hip.
So this is Billy Carson learning some
and
things
yes.
from this big shot
Yes.
biblical scholar.
Yeah. So
All
there's some
right.
things that we need to know about the Bible. Apparently, aliens may or may not come into play, but look, what I'm hearing is that you've been doing us all a disservice on with the biblical facts. You've been holding out on us.
Yeah.
I've been holding back on the aliens.
Mm-hmm.
It's always aliens.
We don't appreciate
Always.
that shit.
Oh dear.
We really don't. And we might start a class action lawsuit.
But tonight we're gonna make you speak truth to power, because bald guy here has shit to say.
All right.
A lot of shit. Okay, so we were in our incompetence unable to identify exactly where the introduction was earlier.
Oh yeah, our incompetence. That's
Hey,
that's what happened, right?
We can see.
Oh wait, I didn't do the thing. I got to do the thing. Okay, so this is one of two videos, at least, that we're going to be doing tonight, and this is Billy Carson official, which is why on the screen, on the thumbnail, it was Dr. Kip official.
Well, it's that because I had a morgue official video that I wanted to show Dr. Kip, but then this Billy Carson official clip came into my timeline feed or whatever, and I'm like, you know what? Apparently, this is an official thing, so we should be Dr. Kip official. So that's how
I like it.
Yeah.
Indeed. But this is Billy Carson official. They have 659,000 subscribers. And this video, which came out, I don't know, like 5 days ago, has a little over 4,400 views. And also, they're hawking something, which I'm not going to say out loud because that would just be advertising. Sorry. All right, let's go.
And also, real quick though, I can't find this. Sorry, in the thing, because I wanted to throw it on the screen, but like, I don't know. Sometimes the thingy mabob is mean to me. But I do want to thank. Stop doing that. Left-handed Jedi, who has been a member for 12 months and is now an anti-magnetologist.
You know what, Maya? We need to change the icon.
Oh, yeah. I am totally all on top of
The
that.
name is good, though. I like the name.
So please continue to enjoy your tapioca weasels, your nitties and vaginas.
We can see what the...
I just want to have everybody keep in mind. Go to sleep, Al. What is wrong with you? That the title of this video is Historical Context of Biblical Narratives.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Awesome.
Hey,
Did we
Older-
figure out
We can
don't you
see
teach
what-
a class on that?
on? Yeah. I have a whole class
Pupper.
about
Was
the
a puppy in
historical
there?
background. What's that?
Somebody said pupper, and I'm like,
Oh,
was
my
the
dog was
doggy?
he was over there, but no, he's staring.
Oh,
at
menacingly.
me.
It's like, you're not feeding me.
He's waiting for me to throw this ball
Oh,
or tug on it. So
gotcha.
he might become a problem. But
I don't think so. That's a certified good boy right there.
we can see what the older word was that it's replacing, because the right.
They're
Sorry.
starting in the middle of a
What is
thought.
this guy's name?
This guy's name is Paul Wallace. Paul Wallace.
Yeah,
And
he's like the biblical scholar. Like, how do you not know this?
He is probably the foremost expert in applying the concept of paleo-contact to biblical studies. Now,
And
may
you will
be
all be
thinking-
happy to know he used to be an atheist. And then he became a biblical scholar. And once he heard about Jesus, he just knew, like, the truth all came flooding to him.
Okay.
Can you
left it
guys
there.
hear my dog panting like a maniac?
No, I wish we could. That would be like fantastic for viewership.
And it's Elohim, which means the
Elohim,
All right.
which means pyramids floating in the sky.
So let's look at this. Wonderful, totally not AI artwork here. That I have no problem with
That
AI
happened.
artwork. This is not. I want to know what's going to happen to this camel.
No, he's going to keep walking, and
But
the
is this-
pyramids are going to float off. It's,
Is
like
this
they do.
how? Is this how the pyramids?
This
I
is
would
when they're
say were
landing.
built. This is how it happened.
Oh, it's landing. I thought they were taking off. Okay.
No, I think they're. I
they're
think they might be landing. This is how they got here,
Oh.
right?
Well, then
Although,
the
no,
camel's totally fucked.
they have to be doing something a little bit weird, because this is like they're not in the right line. Because I mean, if this is Giza, which of course it's Giza, it's the only one like half these people know about. Then they all got to be in like a line, right? And isn't the biggest one in the middle? And I feel like the one in the back is the biggest one here.
It looks like it to me. That's what I thought. Maybe this was just the first attempt. They put him here, and then they said, "Nah, that's no good. Let's move
Yeah.
over to the other
Oh.
side." Right?
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
have to wonder, like, did they build them in outer space, and then
No, they built them on the planet, like, Krypton Vulcania, and
why did they do that?
and then they flew it over here
Why did they
so
just
that
build
they
them
could be
here?
our gods. Because if
Because.
they built them here,
Because.
yeah, I tried to give more, and Maya, thank you for reminding me. That's all I need.
got it, Maya.
Yeah, great Scott.
Okay.
powerful ones.
Oh, that's
So the Bible is very honest to say
Elohim is the powerful ones. That's what he said, right?
Yup.
Yeah. Yeah.
which means the powerful
right.
ones.
Mm.
So the Bible is very honest, saying originally this was a story about the powerful ones, but we who
Does this mean anything to you?
No.
Okay.
Nothing.
I mean, this might mean
At
something
all.
in Egyptology.
Probably. I think some people might think that the Bible actually comes from Egypt.
Wait, the Bible doesn't come from Egypt?
Yeah, no.
Oh, right, because it comes from the aliens.
No, right, yeah. Well, I mean, aliens, Egypt, like, tomato.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
originally this was a story about the powerful ones, but we who believe in Yahweh are retelling the story.
Oh,
So
good.
that's one example. It tells you straight away, okay, this is not real time.
So
It's not real time.
I don't know what
What
that
is-
means.
And
I don't know
another
what that
example,
means.
one example, it tells you straight away, okay, this is not real time.
Oh,
And,
maybe he means like the ages of the patriarchs and stuff, things like that, or something. I don't know. Maybe he'll.
Another
explain.
example would be you get into Genesis 6 with the story of the flood, and I would encourage anybody
Oh.
to read.
Okay, does anybody else think that this definitely behaved like it had a motor in the back? Hold on.
With the story
Watch
of the
this thing.
flood,
Look at that.
and I would encourage anybody to read
That definitely has a
Genesis
motor.
6 alongside the various Mesopotamian flood stories, and you'll find so many
I
correlations.
also encourage people to read the flood story alongside other ancient Near Eastern flood stories.
Yup.
Wonder what he's gonna do with this.
This part I think, well, what he's going to do with it is probably unspeakable, but so far it hasn't been completely without merit.
It'll blow your hats off.
Oh,
But in the biblical telling of Noah's preparation, it becomes clear that there are two flood stories that have been woven together to make the one. Just follow the maths. You'll be able to see that.
Wrong about
He's-
that.
Okay.
Give him
It's
time.
true.
But yeah, that's very true. That's probably why. Is that the reason why, or a potential reason why there's some like confusion about 2 of a kind and then
Oh,
7 of clean kinds,
Absolutely.
okay,
And then you've got
the time
you-
frames of the actual rain.
40 days and 40 nights in one version, and then in the other version it rains for like 150 days. The rain is on the earth. Yeah, so there's these hints, right? Kind of stitched into the story, or are still in the story based on the way that the 2 versions were stitched together. But yeah, it's if you pull them apart, both versions on their own actually make better sense. So yeah, but he's not wrong yet.
Bring up that chat that you just had on screen again.
The Epic of Gilgamesh, which is a flood story as part of a side story, is actually a great story about a despotic king becoming a better person through the power of friendship.
It's true. Yeah.
I thought that was funny. I will say, even in the Bible, the flood story is kind of shockingly a side story. Like it's only a couple pages, right? So
Yeah.
If that, well, I mean, I guess if you put the two together, yeah.
Yeah. But most Bible
And the
stories are actually
one-
pretty short.
Mhm.
that's true. That's
Right.
true. But
One of
the
those
important ones they tell multiple times, like Jesus. That's why there's 4 gospels.
I mean,
tellings.
well, yeah. I mean, I
Sorry.
heard there were 4 gospels because they wanted one for
For
each
each cardinal
pillar.
direction.
Yeah, yeah.
Each what?
Cardinal direction.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got north, south,
Southeast, yeah.
I'm
east,
sorry.
and
I
west.
actually heard erection, so I was
The
love
cardinal erections
Cardinal erection.
required the
Cardinal
formation
Welcome to Bad
of,
Science Sunday, everyone.
Mm,
the Catholic Church before there were cardinals. So
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Able to see that. And that one of those tellings has been written after the giving of the Yahwist laws. Again,
So he's talking about
What?
one of the tellings of the Noah story
Yeah.
was given after the Yahwist laws.
Oh, the Yahweh's laws.
Is that a
Hmm.
thing?
Well,
It doesn't
the
look
way-
like.
So the way we divide the 2 accounts tends to be as a priestly version or a non-priestly version. I wonder if that's where he's getting this, the Yahwistic laws. But
Could he
I don't.
could he be referring to, like, there are portions of Genesis that refer to God as Elohim?
Like
Are there portions of
P,
Genesis
are you
that
talking about the P sources?
Mm,
Like
so,
the P, was it PDY and or
E.
E? Yeah.
yeah, and
J
does
could be
what does
Y.
Or sorry,
what does
J.
Y or J stand for?
Okay.
No,
It
J
stands for
is Y.
Yahweh,
So,
J is
right?
Y.
there
Sorry.
is, classically speaking, most scholars are not, they
P non P.
yeah, that's how we tend to think of it now. It used to be the Yahweh source, which was J, followed by the Elohim source, which was E, and then the priestly source P, and then the Book of Deuteronomy, which is its own thing. And now I think most scholars prefer to talk about just priestly material and non-priestly material. There's been a lot written which indicates that there may not have been any distinction between E and J. I find it useful for teaching and thinking about the text, even if it's wrong, like this four source theory. Um, but yeah, like for example, one of the things that distinguishes J from E is that in the Yahwist account, the J stuff, God is much more like a person. Like he's physical, he walks around, he interacts with people. He's walking around in the Garden of Eden. Whereas in E, he's much more like out there, speaks from the sky and does
Okay.
things like that. But that could be P too. So I don't know. It gets confusing. Pentateuchal criticism isn't really my thing. It's fun, but I'm kind of an idiot when it comes to it.
What does that make us?
Sorry. Not biblical scholars.
Fair enough. You're starting to understand why I'm scared about my colleagues watching the show and finding out about my magnet trutherism, right?
Indeed.
It's risky.
Yeah.
From an age far into the future. Mm-hmm. So when you start reading about clean and unclean animals in Genesis 6, again, we're being told openly, all right, somebody after the time of Moses is retelling an earlier story. That's why we're talking about.
It's everybody after the time. Does this guy think like does he think that this is stuff that goes like?
I mean, okay, so I know that. Say I know, like I've actually studied this. So what I've heard is like the Jews used to say that these were like, well, they do still say these are the books of Moses, like insinuating that Moses wrote them. Do you think that's the perspective he's taking?
I'm wondering about that.
That's still fairly common belief in American Christianity today. Like
Oh yeah, but they're stupid.
Yeah. Oh, whoops.
Okay. I was about to use my mom as an example.
My parents are pastors. They were pastors. They're
we all have parents.
And my
they probably all believe the same thing.
She doesn't.
I don't think my dad actually did go to seminary, and I had a conversation with him about this, and they actually don't. So I mean, I'm not. I'm not saying that all Christians don't, and I'm not. Again, I know we have some Christians in the chat. Not dissing all Christians, but like we can all agree, right, that an overwhelming majority of them don't read the book and are just told this happened. I mean, honestly, I want to say the overwhelming majority just thinks like God wrote it, and like they don't really pay attention to
In
like,
English.
yeah,
Or
in the King's English,
overwhelming.
Yeah.
and they don't really pay attention to who, like, yeah, maybe it was, I don't really care, it was God, you know, whoever it was actually God, and he was just like, they were channeling God, you know, so God wrote it.
Importantly, this guy is supposed to be a biblical scholar, right?
Hmm.
And he's talking about the time of Moses.
So this guy is a bad science Sunday top tier biblical scholar.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
What does that
Clean and
mean?
unclean animals.
Right.
So from the get-go, the Bible is very honest that there has been redaction and retelling that has gone on. And there are points when the Bible itself points to other sources, and it says, well, you can read the longer version of this story in such and such a book. And it's a book that you and I would have never heard.
These are probably, I don't know about all of them, but many of these references in the Old Testament to other books that they're supposedly pulling source material from might also just be fabricated. I don't know if you knew this, but for a long time, people have recognized that if you cite other sources and authority, it tends to lend some credibility to what you're saying. So
yeah, I completely agree. I know the reason I know that is because I learned it from the great scholar Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, I was there. That happened.
So the Bible has evolved, has been redacted. Some of the story of that is there. If you get
so he's an evolutionist, is what he's saying, because the Bible's evolved. Terrible.
Later into the book of Jeremiah and the books of 1 and 2 Kings, the book of Ezra, a little bit of the reworking and recrafting of the Bible is referenced in those texts. And
okay.
But this is honestly this is kind of, I'm getting this kind of feel from like the exchange that Billy Carson had with Wes Huff, right? Like he said a whole bunch of bullshit, like fucking crazy stuff. But then mixed in there, he would say some things that indicated he has this awareness of how critical scholarship of the Bible works, and he's got some sense of the historical background of these things. It kind of sounds like that's what this guy's doing.
Yeah, I mean, so far, based solely on what has come out of his mouth, it could be a lot worse.
Yes. We could be watching Inspiring Philosophy.
No, we couldn't. Not on my channel. I forbid it. For $4.99, Professor Park says, "Maya, you forgiven. Now say 5 hill weasels."
I'm gonna have to come up with
weasel.
With a hail weasel, yeah.
Hill weasel, full of nonsense. The magnets are with thee. Blessed are you above all anti-magnetology.
There we go. It has to be an anti-magnet prayer. It can't be a pro-magnet prayer.
And blessed is the womb, the fruit
even
of
though you walk through
magnet.
the valley of the shadow of magnets, I will fear no evil.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on that one.
Yeah,
that's good.
So that's just one example that takes you beyond this fundamentalist reading of the Bible. As if you're reading science, or as if you're reading a history book. You're not. You're reading a another kind of literature. If you get into 1 or 2 Kings, for instance, or 1 or 2 Chronicles.
Well, so my understanding of the type of literature that 1 and 2 Chronicles is boring type of literature. Am I wrong?
No. Well,
am I short-sighted?
Maybe a little. There's a lot of names in the Book of Chronicles.
Oh, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the book is chronicling names, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, you realize there's another reason this is being written, because you're getting action and then you're getting evaluation of that action. King such and such was a bad king because he did such and such.
That's so when it comes to the books of, in particular, 1st and 2nd Kings, even though this is repeated in Chronicles, it originates in Kings. This is like, we call it the Deuteronomistic history because it's based on this ethic that comes out of the book of Deuteronomy. Every single ruler is evaluated according to just one thing. There's only one thing that the writer cares about, and it's whether or not the king was faithful exclusively to Yahweh and, kicked all the other gods out of the temple and the country. That's it. That is the only thing he cares about. So this phrase is repeated throughout the entire book. Either this ruler did what was right in the eyes of Yahweh, or he did what was bad in the eyes of Yahweh. And yeah, so that's what he's getting at here. But it's like this is agenda, right? Like that's how we read this stuff. Clearly, the writer of these stories of the kings spends almost no time, like fuck all, on he built this palace or this wall or he hammered out this treaty. No, he doesn't care about any of that. All he cares about is how much of a hard on each king had for Yahweh. That's it. That's all he wants. Cardinal erections.
I love it. Shout out to Skeptic Spin who came through. Justin, way to go! It was a great stream earlier. But I mean, it's kind of like I don't know. I know that a lot of other like when I was looking at like why things were written in ancient times, a lot of it was like the audience was the gods, or the audience was whatever, to make the king look great, or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you're saying here? Like it's being written to make the king look great? Is the audience the god?
I don't think it's necessarily the god, and the whole history is kind of working up to this climax, and now I'm just the euphemisms, I'm gonna just start giggling as I say them, but it's working up to this point. The highlight of the whole story is this guy named Josiah, who lived in the 7th century and was like the ideal king. So
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of, it's propaganda. I think at its earliest stage, it was probably written by his scribes,
Okay.
who were trying very hard to suck up to him and, you're so great. Look at all these terrible kings in the past, but you're
Okay.
awesome.
Okay. Okay. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because that was my question. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we now got an evaluation layered on top of history. Or in the book of Jeremiah, Jeremiah talks about the cult of Asherah, that on every high hill and under every green tree, the Jewish people would honor Asherah for having come in the past and taught their people agriculture, raising them from a life of subsistence, becoming civilization builders. He's given us all that information.
Yeah.
Who is
I mean-
Asherah?
I fucking love Asherah.
Yeah, she's pretty great.
She loved to get married though, like a lot.
I can't remember
Asherah
who Asherah was.
she was a goddess.
Mhm.
She was a Canaanite goddess, but like more widespread than that. Like she's pretty popular throughout a lot of the ancient Near East and into Mesopotamia. And there are other names too, used
Well,
in different regions that seem
I
to
mean,
correspond.
even Gandalf also went by Mithrandir,
That's
right?
right.
So,
Exactly.
you know.
There you go. But she was
You go by Dr. Kip and Dr. Kill.
that's
Oh,
true.
and not to derail you,
Mhm.
but Bree has a very important question here.
Hi, Bree. Oh,
How-
how do we know this is the real Kip? I don't know.
He does have the man bun.
I that's true. There's that. I'm not. I was going to say it's usually the toque, right? But I don't.
Right. And I don't know. Like I don't you're a toothless. Like
I am.
what's up with that?
I am.
For $20, Jake, insert clever Dapper Dino inside joke here. Nelson says, just got my tax return, so I wanted to drop a dub on my second favorite goddess. What the fuck? And my favorite wheel. What the fuck? Okay, fine.
To be clear, I was not ranked ahead of you. I was not. I was just ranked at the first of the weasels, and you were ranked, and you're gonna face some penalty for this, Jake. Somehow second to the goddesses. But the second goddess is still way above Weasel.
I am the
Please
most
don't-
high goddess. What the fuck
please don't
does
smite me.
a girl have to do?
Who gets their tax return on the 2nd of February?
Jake does, and he drops fucking dubs in my chat. What? Sorry. You know what? I got an air horn.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
for
yeah.
Jake dropping
Make
dubs
it
in the
rain.
chat. Nelson.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right.
I
We're
love
talking
it.
about Asherah though.
Asherah. Yeah. So she is like the queen of the goddesses. Sorry, Maya. She was the queen of the goddesses.
That bitch got grown. See, Tyler knows what's up. All right.
So
I'm listening. We're
and she
listening.
was very popular in ancient Israel. She's mentioned a few times in the Bible. The Bible
Why?
writers, they really hate her, but we have tons of evidence through archaeological excavations of her. The worship of her is widespread. People like to collect figurines of her. She seemed nice. Nicer than Yahweh.
Way nicer than Yahweh.
Yahweh's the dick.
A little bit. I don't know why we didn't get to do the Asher worship as opposed to the Yahweh worship. Only I guess if
Would have
you're
been
like
different.
misogynistic dicks,
Mhm.
the answer is inherent in itself. But and again,
that-
no. Again, Christians, I'm not trying to hate on you, and I'm not an atheist, and I'm certainly not an atheist. I just I don't know. I like Jesus. Actually, he was a commie. Like that was some cool shit. Yahweh though.
So
I don't know.
something that we have to understand here when it comes to the religions of ancient Israel, and the plural is intended. So Yahweh was worshipped by his, desperate incel old priesthood in his temple in Jerusalem. They never went outside. They didn't talk to girls. They just stayed in their little temple. And I think people get this misconception that the temple in Jerusalem was like this big public building for everybody to come and hang out and have parties and burn dead animal flesh. No, it wasn't all that. It was a place for the king and his buddies to hang out and do their Yahweh shit. The rest of the normal people who lived, outside of the palace, outside of the Acropolis, in the hinterland, and who were farming and just doing their thing in the cities, they worshipped Asherah, and they worshipped her in their homes. So, like, and importantly, because they worshipped her in their homes, women played a very important role in the ongoing maintenance of the cult of Asherah.
I love that.
Right?
Wait, was she one of the ones that had a sex cult?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
And I mean, there's mixed ideas on how freaky
we're a
these
sex
people were.
positive community.
Yeah, we
so like if you want to have like what is
Absolutely.
it? There's the goddesses. What's a goddess that had like was it ritual sex or whatever? Those bitches were cool.
I think some of the Greek goddesses were probably like that.
Mm.
Well, it's been thought that because the way the Bible kind of denigrates other gods and goddesses, there's this sense that they were really freaky in their cult practices. But like, how much of this is true to reality, and how much of this is just the biblical authors with the bluest balls on earth just trying to make these other people look bad by making them look good. So
interesting. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. No, there's a lot of that with like the child what do you call it? The ritual non-unaliving and
oh yeah.
the I thought the story I can't remember who I was watching. It was probably on Derek's channel, Myth Vision, and they were talking about like what the story of Lot was really about, and it was like that more than like stating this is what actually happened, it was more of like an epic diss track. Like, this is, you guys come from this group of people who were like so horrible that the best among them was,
he's kind of a crappy guy.
Yeah. And so I don't know. They do this a lot. There's a lot of polemics, we'll say.
A lot of polemics.
I had a question about something that was said in the chat. I can't remember. The Egyptian version had a tit tree.
That's awesome.
Which each leaf was a tit. And I'm like, what is he talking about? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, fair. All right, moving on.
Information, and you might think, oh wow, isn't that amazing? I wonder who she is. But then he sort of adds the sentence, isn't that awful? Isn't that idolatrous? Yeah. Oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't be interested. And there's the message, there's the agenda of that text. So you've got a blend of all sorts of things going on. You've got some history in there, but you've got some theology, you've got some moralizing, and you've got a lot of, so toe the line, this is the line.
Gotcha. So you said something interesting too. You said Elohim, right? The powerful ones. So that sounds plural to me. So this Elohim seems to be plural, multiple beings.
Yes, that's right. So
you sound like you have a.
Can we let him finish what he's got to say about
Oh,
this.
P-Town's here. He says we are blaspheming.
Hey, P-Town.
Thank you for your thoughts. Moving on.
Elohim is a masculine plural form word. It is a word that many Bibles translate as God, but in my books, Escaping from Eden and the Eden Conspiracy, I argue that that is not the right way to translate that word, and that if you read it in the plural, you will begin to recognize that you're reading the summary forms of the Anuna stories, the Anunnaki stories.
All right. Okay. So, yes, the word Elohim is
You said
plural.
yes, you agree
it's
with
masculine
him.
plural. No. No. But because I understand how languages work and grammar and important things like that, one of the things you will notice when you read through the biblical text is that far and away, most of the time, when the word Elohim appears, it takes singular verbs. Like it's not a plural, it's plural in form, but most of the time, it's not actually a plural word. It's like, excuse me, I got to clear my throat. Sorry, guys.
By all means, you're going to be talking for a while.
Yeah. So, like, it's probably more like an honorific, right? Like, it's plural as a way to indicate that this is the king shit god. Like he's he's the best. So that's just how they express it. So it's just a mistake to go back and translate all of those instances as plural words. It's not. It does happen. It's pretty rare. But yeah, no. You shouldn't do that. Don't
So when the Bible talks about Elohim, is it mostly there? I know there are a couple of places I can think of off the top of my head where it's plural, but like, isn't it mostly they're using it as a singular?
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. So, and we know that because
Well, the verbs,
of the
right?
way the verbs formed.
I'm
And,
sorry.
when there are pronouns that refer back to him, they're singular. So you just need to know how to read.
Oh,
That's a great first step. Learn how to read
learn how to read,
and then read the Bible.
That's sound advice. It's kind of like oh god, the other day Vishanti was just going off in the chat. It's like, she has a thing with Johns Hopkins, apparently. It's singular. It's out here in my neck of the woods. We just deal with it. My unfinished journey for $2.22. Thank you. Says, hail here. Can't talk today. Hail Nero, hail the goddess, hail Kip, and
Weasel.
It's Weasel.
It's Weasel.
Full
You're
of
just
nonsense.
pretending not.
Is that what that's supposed to be? It's a confusion of weasels.
It is a confusion of weasels.
Thank you, my unfinished journey.
It boils down to the fact that the Elohim word in Hebrew is the Hebrew word for Anunnaki.
Mm-hmm.
So it confuses people because it gets translated as God, but
it's an alien, obviously. Duh.
The Hebrew word. Is there a way? Like, is there a way we know this?
Yeah,
or is this
you would know it from him
also
just saying it right
because?
now.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta listen, man.
Hello.
Come on.
All right.
Hello. That's how it's.
Anunnaki.
So but you're in the chat every week. You know how this is done. But all right, so we haven't done any of these streams in a while. But like, usually, how you know something is true is that there's a picture of Nikola Tesla, and
Yeah,
somebody is saying the thing.
The great biblical scholar Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla.
But we don't have him here for this. So we have
Not yet.
so we have
I don't think he
pyramids,
shows up.
you
but-
know, elevated into the sky. or
Does he
coming
show
down
up?
from the sky? No, he does not. Not in this one. We're gonna have to find another Nikola Tesla stream.
But this guy looks badass.
Oh, he does,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and that's how you know that it's a fact.
Oh,
Well, what?
those guys
Just people because it gets
Oh,
trans.
badass.
I was gonna skip forward and be like, she also looks badass.
No,
But
she's a woman, and we can't be like. This is Sparta.
yeah, but this is like this is transhumanism, Maya. Don't you remember the last show we did?
I
Like
do.
she's a cyborg,
Mhm.
like future.
Yeah, so she cannot age, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Translated as God, but in other places, Elohim can be false gods.
This is what I skipped to accidentally earlier. We went from this image to this image to this. What is happening?
What was the prompt that went into the AI engine to create that image? Like
Muscular angel and goat man broing out.
growing out.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
Thor and is it Pan? What's the goat
It
guy?
kind of looks like Pan.
Kind of looks like Thor.
But
and
it's-
Pan.
Is it Pan and it's Wolverine and
It fucking is. Holy shit. That's fucking Wolverine.
Best AAR ever.
with
I love it.
horns. Wolverine doesn't have horns.
Well, I mean, he's got that thing on his mask, right? I
That's true,
swear,
yeah, but-
I swear that Avengers or Marvel movies was part of this AI prompt. It had to have been.
Probably.
What are they, you might ask? Can be angels, can be landlords.
Oh,
What is he explaining again? What is the word that he's?
this is the Elohim.
Is it?
He's
They
a
could be
landlord?
angels. They could be landlords. Oh, what?
Whoa.
What?
No, since I'm going super commie here, I just got to put in the hashtag all landlords are parasites. Moving on.
That's unfair, Maya.
Look.
I'm technically my son's.
Oh, god damn it. Oh, okay, your son. Okay. No, that tracks.
I'm nobody's landlord, for the record. I just realized that when I said Maya was unfair, that could be. I am not a landlord. I have a lot of things that you can call me out for being. Landlord is not any of them.
All right. No, I will acknowledge that he is not a landlord.
I
He
do
just
like my
really likes his
landlord.
parasite.
Yeah.
I like my landlord. He's a really nice guy. He's awesome.
No.
Let's
clarify this. Your landlord. I mean, it's not okay. The reason that our landlords are parasites is because there's a housing crisis, and then there's a bunch of people and companies that are swooping up housing and raising the prices and making it harder for people to not only buy homes, but also increasing the homeless epidemic. So they're evil people. However, your landlord is leasing out a mother-in-law suite. You could not buy that, so he wouldn't technically fit into the demographic. All right, and so that was your PSA from Comedy Central.
Thank you, Maya.
Thank you, Maya.
Angels can be landlords. It has this great elasticity to it. Sometimes it takes singular
Elasticity.
verbs. Sometimes it takes plural verbs. So in Genesis 20.
Oh, he did note that sometimes it takes singular verbs. We're talking like,
This man is an authority.
99% of the time. It's probably not quite that high, but it's like most of the time.
I'm really excited to show you just an overview of all of the videos on this guy's YouTube channel. It's going to be great.
For instance, Abraham is making reference to the fact that the Elohim, plural, told me, plural verb, to move. And so that's why he moved from
Is
I
that a
don't.
thing?
What?
I feel
Does
like
that even grammatically make sense?
I feel like it would, but I feel like I need to look that up.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Oh, it's not even
It,
well. It'd be nice. That's the frustrating thing with
it,
people like this. It'd be nice if they gave us actual text to read.
uh, uh,
So in Genesis
like
12:1, it says that Yahweh said to Abraham, sorry, and that's a singular verb. Get yourself going from your land and from your kinsman and from the house of your father. So I don't know what he's referring to here, but I think it's bullshit.
yeah.
Fair.
From the high place of Haldi, because the Elohim plural told him
What
plural.
is the high place of Haldi?
I have no idea.
You're so uneducated, Pip.
Clearly, somebody must be home. The dog just ran.
I mean, that or the dog suddenly understood what was going on. It was like, I am out of here.
Could be.
To do so. There are other moments, though, where it is used in the singular. So there's a story where Yahweh, who is one of the Elohim, this
Listen,
is clear in a number of places.
That's actually probably true. So one of the ways in which this word Elohim is used is not always with reference to the high God. It's also just with general reference to other divine beings. So, like for example, in Psalm 82, it says that an Elohim, singular, stands up in the council of the high God El and pronounces judgment on the rest of the Elohim. And that's probably, he's not identified as Yahweh, but I think it's abundantly clear this is Yahweh. So he's kind of got that right. But he's probably going to say something stupid now, isn't he, about him being your landlord?
We can only hope.
I hope so.
Joshua 24, for instance,
Oh.
Joshua says, consider who you're going to serve, the Elohim of the Egyptians, the Elohim of Mesopotamia, or our Elohim Yahweh. They're all the same kind of being. They're all referred to in the plural, even as singular entities. So it's a very odd kind of word. But the plurality is there in the verbs, it's in the behavior, because the Elohim go to war against one another.
Yeah.
So, it does seem like a fairly, flexible word.
Yeah.
Does that
is.
flexibility involve flying space pyramids?
I have to go back.
Those aren't
and
even
look it up, 'cause I
pyramids.
have-
Like, what was the prompt
more
for
of
that?
these. Yeah.
Seriously, what was the
That's an
prompt for
excellent
that?
question.
Like, what is that? Like, we need flying cone heads jetting off into the sky. Like, what the guy? Okay.
That's wild.
And thousands of human beings are slaughtered in the conflict between them. They're referred to collectively as the Tseva Hashemayim, which recalls how they arrived. They're the airborne armies.
So that's
And
the
they're referred
Seva
to-
Hashemayim. That's the army of the sky.
This is where I think he's starting to get into a stride.
All right.
I think.
Oh, except
Throw the
there's a
fucking
big call. There's a big call to throw the fucking ball.
Yes. I'm sure he did. He didn't find anyone because he's back now, right?
Oh my god! You should have seen
Well,
his head perk up when you grabbed it.
Yeah.
It's a
You
ball.
can't. Oh, yeah, but so because now if you do it, you have to keep doing it, and
Oh, I know. Do you see how
As
sad
the
he
governor-
looks?
He does.
Yeah,
He's like,
Like you either gotta throw him the ball, or throw him some Prozac. Like, holy shit.
oh, we should try that.
is there a dog version? Is there a dog version
It
of
is dog
catnip?
abuse.
A dog version of Prozac?
Of catnip?
Is there a dog version of catnip?
Because catnip is like weird. Like, it really does.
Like drugs.
Like
It's totally
they
drugs.
get stoned.
Yeah, they get completely high.
So
But I don't
funny
think
to
so.
watch.
And maybe they don't make it for dogs because, like, that one would, like, he'd tear my house apart. I expect. So
No, yeah, the dog. I don't know. I mean, he makes the cat freeze to death. It's weird.
yeah, my cat lives outside, guys, because he's terrified of the dog. He's inside tonight. Though. It's cold out there.
Sorry.
So.
What's the El Ba'adat, the Power Council?
Mhm.
Power
But there's a
Council.
moment where
He said the
Yahweh
El
refers-
Ba'adat,
Baradat,
which I assume
Baradat,
is.
I think.
I assume, and that's. So, I think he's trying to say something like Adat El, which would be the Council of El, but he clearly doesn't understand how the language works because where he's got that word placed in the construction, it wouldn't end ba'adat, it would end ba'aday, and yeah, it's they're supposed to be like if in that form, there's actually supposed to be another word that follows on the end of that. So it's always fun to listen to people talk about Hebrew when they don't know anything about Hebrew.
Well, it's not that hard. You just look at the Hebrew and you read it from
That's
left to right. It's not that hard.
Power Council.
Mhm.
But there's a moment where Yahweh refers to himself as an Elohim. There's a moment where his king,
told you about
Ahaziah, has fallen off a ladder.
You're
What?
psychic.
Wait,
at
can
him.
you back
There's
that
a
up?
moment where
Yeah, yeah.
his king, Ahaziah, has fallen off a ladder and broken his back, and he wants to know if he's going to live. And he's heard that the Elohim in Ekron down the road is very good at medical prognostics. So he's
Better than Yahweh, apparently.
I mean, Yahweh never went to med school.
No.
It's really clear based on the everything.
Yahweh
in the
was
text.
really into sports.
Mm.
Yeah.
And barbecue.
And barbecue.
And
He was a pit boss.
Yeah, God, he fucking was.
send some people to inquire.
Real quick.
Sorry.
For $2, Left-Handed Jedi says, my other vehicle is a flying pyramid. And that's fucking badass.
Damn. I want that bumper sticker now.
Ooh.
I think I do.
You know, times I wish I had merch. Like, I mean,
Yes.
some of the
Yes,
live chat.
right?
Right?
Yes.
Yup.
Yeah.
Of the Elohim of Ekron, does he think I can get better? And according to the prophet Elijah, when Yahweh hears about this, he's absolutely furious. And he says, is there no Elohim here? Pointing to himself. That Ahaziah has to dance off to the Elohim of Ekron, and then he makes a pun out of his name to try and put the other.
Where is this?
Well, if he's talking about Elijah, it's probably towards the end of First Kings. I actually
because the way he's contextualizing it doesn't sound at all like the way I've always heard these stories. I think contextualized because I heard a lot of stories about Elijah. I don't remember God arguing with like other co-equal beings about like who's gonna do the I don't whatever he's saying.
No, I agree, and it's hard to kind of follow.
Yeah,
with him just throwing this story out without any kind of like I don't even know where to. I have an idea where to look, but it would take me some time to
Fair enough.
figure it
Wait, you
out,
don't
right?
just
Like
wait,
I
there's
didn't
other
memorize a
streams where
whole.
you're just like, wait a minute, I want to get a book. I know exactly the page.
I did that today. So
All right. For $4.99, Raisna, pre-Yiddish uranium decay color, says
Great name.
fucking right.
word for word.
Word for word. Word for word.
That's what Raisna
Word for
says.
word.
Elohim down. But there you can see, oh, okay, they're rivals.
Mm.
Yahweh is the Elohim here,
Yeah.
and this other one, the Lord of the Flies, as he calls him, his real name.
That would be Baal. I'm pretty sure that's Beelzebub. So where is that? I feel like I need to look that up now.
I feel like it. So
What?
isn't Beelzebub doesn't Beelzebub no. I was thinking about, does Beelzebub feature in Bohemian Rhapsody? Who is that?
Okay.
What?
Yeah. Yes. I have the story here. It's at the beginning of 2 Kings.
Mhm.
So let me just grab this 2 Kings.
Okay, while you're doing that, I want to remind everyone that Yehooligan just became a member. It's got to be again, right? This cannot possibly be the first time Yehooligan was a member. No one knows.
I've never heard of this membership thing.
Yehooligan, welcome to the fold. Please enjoy your tapioca weasels, your nitties, and vaginas.
So I mean, yeah, he's not. He's. It does say that. Is there no Elohim in Israel that you had to go to seek after Beelzebub, the Elohe Ekron, or the god of Ekron? So,
the Bible's
but
so
this is.
weird.
I know, isn't it? So
It's crazy.
he's. But this is kind of how these ancient religions work too, right? Like every god had his own territory, and there were if you couldn't just, if you left the territory of a god like the god Yahweh and went to another place, he couldn't help you. He was too far away. He was powerless outside of his own borders.
That was, well, at a certain point in time, that was thought to be the same way for every god, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know everything about every god. But,
Well, that was my
yeah.
understanding of like El giving a portion
Yeah.
of land to his sons.
Yep.
That, okay, this is your land to protect, I guess, kind of like a nation.
It's your inheritance. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I don't, there's people over there that are crying and I could help them, but fuck those guys.
That's right.
I'm over here.
These are my people.
Yeah, these are
Looking
my
after
people.
my people.
And like, not only do you have to be my people and do the things, but you also have to be on the land
Mhm.
doing the things. Like, you can't do the things in like that guy's land. You have to do the things in my land.
There's another story in 2 Kings where Elisha heals I think he's Syrian or Syrian or Assyrian soldier of leprosy, and the soldier actually digs up a bunch of the soil to take back with him to Nineveh so that he can continue to receive favor from Yahweh. It's a good plan, right?
Oh my God. I mean, it's just so crazy. But I mean, wait, am I right? Like,
No.
to get the God's favor, you have to do the things that God wants and on his land.
Mhm.
If you are on the land and not doing the things, you don't get the favor. And if you're doing the things that get the God's favor, but not on his land, you don't get the favor. You have to be, it's a twofer.
Yeah, it's it's not rocket science, right? Like it's a pretty
Well, I mean,
simple
because it's
economy.
very different than like okay, so in the United States, well, in Christianity,
Mhm.
you just have to believe. And it is very actually it's different actually even in Judaism now where you just have to do the things and you
Mhm.
could be anywhere as long as you came out of a Jewish vagina.
Mhm.
Um but under the OT it seems like they're playing by a different set of rules.
Yeah, they totally are.
Okay.
And it, I think importantly, from the world that the Old Testament came from, as much as they talk about how amazing Yahweh is, and this is sort of reflected in other texts from the region, they talk about how great the gods are and how awesome and kind and generous and wonderful. uh, There's this strong underlying current that the gods maybe actually aren't that nice. So they they will you have a better chance that they'll help you out if you do the things that they tell you to on their land, but that's not
Like it's like
guaranteed.
up in the
It
air too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if there happens to be a volcano on the land, they may or
eh,
may not think of you
eh,
when it's going off. Yeah, it's just that, yeah, a totally different set of rules. And I was gonna ask, like, what happened, but like, you may not be the best person to talk to answer that. I don't know. I don't want to because you were always saying that you have a very narrow
very
specialty,
narrow.
so I don't want to like make you uncomfortable with answering questions. But I am really trying to figure out like why is it different? Like even amongst the Jews, like it's very different. I mean, I guess getting kicked out of your land and still wanting to practice your religion will like do that to you. So, I mean, but I'm just guessing.
Yeah. Sorry, I think I trailed off there a little bit.
Oh wait, in the middle of me
Because
talking.
that happens. I think so. Because like when I'm old, right? So sometimes it just that yeah. So was it important?
No.
Okay.
Actually, you know what is important is this $2 from you
Yeah, it is.
hooligan, womp womp, who says, "Beware of the weasel."
I need to
Ooh.
get that sign. I still,
Yeah.
yeah, hold on. Let me just,
I bet
I
you
feel
could
like,
make your own.
yeah, but
Well, your hooligan has a "Beware of weasel" sign.
yeah,
Like he was waving it around. I was
I saw
jealous.
that. It
it,
was
it,
Like I
awesome.
it
need
it's
that
like
in my
it's like
life.
a proper like metal sign that he had taped to a wooden stick using for the record gorilla tape. I didn't have it on hand at the time, but it became a meme in the last stream. So yeah,
See what
And
happens.
magnets, magnet
Ma-
magic. We'll
Magnus didn't
strap
become
a
a meme in the last stream,
what? No,
Maya.
it will strap a "Beware of weasel" sign to wood because
No,
it's
that,
demonic.
no, that's not how magnets won't do that. Magnets will not stick aluminum to wood. Okay, it won't work on either of those objects.
But it
And
did
is the
because your
Lord and
hooligan did
Prince.
it.
I- with the gorilla tape, with the 8 tape.
If you
Yeah.
say it properly, he's the Elohim in Ekron. And so Yahweh has these peers among the Elohim, which is why when you get to the Ten Commandments, he says, I don't want you working for any other Elohim. You're not to bow down to them, and you're
That's
not to
true.
serve them.
hmm
Yeah. So
He doesn't like it.
did all the gods, did they like fight each other every so often?
Yeah. Not in the Bible though. Not so much because
Is that because it was
it's all
edited out,
yeah.
or because Yahweh was like a really like chill guy?
No, it wasn't that. I think it's mostly because at the time that these texts were like the vast majority of the texts were written, that kind of stuff that they just didn't think really like that anymore. We have a we have a couple of places where you've got Yahweh fighting with other divine creatures, like there's a couple of places in the book of the psalms where he fights with Leviathan, who is like this great sea monster, and he kills him. And then there's another really interesting story in it's either First or Second Kings chapter 3, where the Moabite god Chemosh actually ends up in a confrontation with Yahweh and wins. So, but
That wasn't the one where that was, I think, was that Moses, where the guy had to keep his arms in the air?
No.
Or am I thinking that was a different
no,
story?
that is Moses. In this story,
that would be hard. Not gonna lie.
Like every time he got his arm, he had to keep his arms in the air, and every time they got tired and he put him down for 2 seconds,
they
started
kicking his ass. Yeah, that's horrible.
So a couple poor guys, their job was just to hold this.
To be fair, if that's all it takes, get like 5 guys each on rotation, and you're done. It's very, very clear, victory strategy.
And let's be honest, that's probably better than actually fighting too. So
yes, I have if I was at war, I'm gonna fight to win without I guess breaking international war crime conventions and stuff. But back then,
they were totally doing that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that or the conventions were because they still had. Did they have
Dr. Kip is
crimes
old.
of war?
You're gonna make him forget what he was saying about Kamash.
Okay, sorry.
It already happened.
Well, in that case, I just want to say that you know what you failed to do there? You failed to beware of the weasel.
Oh.
Yeah, this is Amazon. I might get all of these. So.
And for $5, Brilliant says Yahweh is Florida man? Question mark.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brilliant.
And of course, in that moment, we're not supposed to ask, sorry, who? Who are you talking about? But, clearly, the Bible is, as you rightly say, Billy, full of a plurality of beings, these Elohim, of whom Yahweh is one. And you go to Psalm 82, Deuteronomy 32, you find out he is a junior Elohim.
That's true.
A junior Elohim.
Is that a thing?
What does that mean?
He's not the high god. So there's a high god.
That would be El.
Right. Yeah, El. So he's not that. But and I would say
anything under El would be a
all the
junior
rest.
God?
Just the rest of the gods. Junior god is maybe not the best term.
Okay. It would be a son of El.
Is demigod better than junior god?
I don't think so, because that's like a coping mechanism that we have for trying to understand how crowded
that's fair.
The ancient cosmos were, while also pretending that there was just one God.
Right. So we relegated the sons of God to demigods.
Yeah.
Or demons.
Or angels. Or
yeah.
They're all...
Or landlords.
Or landlords. But that's... what's happening in Psalm 82, I think, is... it's the council of El. That's what the text says, that this God, Yahweh, stands up in the council of El and calls down judgment on all the rest of the members of the council of El. I think what's probably happening in this psalm is this is sort of an elevation of Yahweh to that position, where he's becoming the high God. He's not quite there yet, but this is he's getting there in that particular psalm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he's talking about a psalm.
Yep. Psalm 82.
Gotcha. Once upon a time, I read all the Psalms, but really hard to memorize those. Anyways, so Yahuligan, maybe 10 minutes
Wow.
ago, had
10
just joined,
months.
and now he is already celebrating 10 months of coolhood. Holy
That's
shit!
efficiency. That
I am
right there
saying.
is
That's
efficiency. It's stunning.
There you go, Yahuligan. Keep that super spirit.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Because when the lands are carved up, and each Elohim or Elohe is the singular, which does crop up from time to time, each one of them is given a land.
Each one, what?
Sorry.
No,
Because I'm a
please.
pedantic asshole. I can't help but, when he makes the mistakes with the language. Elohe is not the singular of Elohim.
Oh, I didn't even hear that. Oh my
He said the
God.
singular is Elohe.
Elohe.
No, that's what
Halfway
we
is
would
one,
call
and you go to Psalm
a
82,
construct
Deuteronomy
form.
30.
Are you
Sorry.
trying to hear
No.
for it again? Okay.
I was, but
Did he say it
I was
already?
also no, I don't think so.
Until you find out he is a junior Elohim. Because when the
Well, wait a
lands
minute.
are carved
You
up,
cut Dr. Kip off, though. What were you going to say, though?
No,
Real
let
quick,
him
and
let him
we'll-
say it
okay.
again so
Cool.
everyone can hear it, and then I'll finish.
and each Elohim or Elohe is the singular, which does crop up from time to time.
Oh, no. So the singular of Elohim is actually Eloah.
L. Oh, I
No,
thought it was
no.
just L.
No, it's Eloah.
Yeah.
L's kind of its own thing, and
Yeah,
that's
Ella is the
why.
name of the god.
Yeah,
So
that's
go ahead. You.
no. Like you're right. Like it's a proper name. That's how it always appears in the text outside of the Bible, like at Ugarit, the other Canaanite text. So why don't we just translate it, speak it the same way when we see it in the Bible? It always works the same way. So, but anyways, the singular of Elohim is Eloah. It occurs occasionally. It's really rare. What he just said, Elohe, that's like what we would call a construct form of the plural noun, and you
Wait,
put
it's an
words
actual
in
thing?
this. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So you put a word in construct if it's in what's called like a genitive or a possessive construction. So that would be the gods of, like the gods of Israel, the Elohim of Israel. You'd say Elohe Yisrael. It's basically a way of indicating that relationship, but it's plural. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Not, I mean,
Pedantry matters.
no, I didn't know that Elo.
It's
Hey
the
was
only
the
thing that does.
I thought he was like just mispronouncing Eloah, but
He might, maybe that's it, but he stumbled onto an actual thing and sounded
in
dumber.
Judaism, I am is plural, right? Like where we put on an S, wouldn't I am be like where you have like a seraph or a seraphim?
And
Like
I
I
am.
I am, yeah.
Oh, are you saying like
To make something plural, a
yeah,
word plural.
that's it. Masculine plural is
Right,
usually
sorry.
"een." So yeah.
So for $4.99, Royce, a pre-Yiddish uranium decay killer, says, speaking of gods, where does the doctor fit into this pantheon?
He's talking about the doctor, right?
Yeah. I would not be so blasphemous as to assume that title, and clearly you would not either. So yeah, we know what's up.
It's a trick.
But serious question, where? Probably up, like, high. I don't know. That's a good question. Okay, where does Q fit into it? The question is in the pantheon of the Elohim. If we're like ranking by like who can take on who? Where does the Doctor rank? And I'm additionally asking, what about Q or the other members of the Q continuum, right?
Oh,
Q. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
from Star Trek.
I think Q has to be at the top. Does
Yeah, I would think so. Higher than the Doctor.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Q can do everything.
but
Can he?
yeah, except for in that one episode when he shows up naked on the bridge.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Time. Each one of them is given land. That means they own the resources under the land. They own the people on the land.
Yep.
Yahweh gets a people group with no land. No land, no resources. So he's going to have to go to war with other Elohim in order to get land and resources.
Is this because he flooded the entire planet?
Is this a thing?
Maybe. I think what he's. Yeah.
Is this a thing? Because
So.
I mean,
At
because
this
I
point-
could have sworn, like earlier, was it AA? I'm getting my streams confused because we've been in so goddamn many. And not even like, it's like just this weekend. You were saying that we were talking about the Dead Sea Scroll text that it was the first time where we, like, you suspected that Yahweh was given a portion from El. But in the Dead Sea Scrolls, you actually had the verbiage there where it's like, yes, this definitely happened. So he was given. This guy should know that he was actually given land and people, but he's saying that no, he was asleep, took a nap. I don't know during the portioning of the people, and so he had to go grab some people from whoever was worshipped in Israel, and then get them and then take them to somebody else's land and fight for it. It sounds like that's what he's saying, and I'm trying to figure out why he would think that.
He's like, what he's doing is like he's mixing a bunch. I feels like he's mixing a bunch of ideas that are they're related. He's pulling some things, out of the text that are legitimate. He's mixing this, like this idea that appears in Deuteronomy 32, but I feel like applying that to the historical narrative of like the Israelites coming out of Egypt and into the land of Canaan and killing all the Canaanites and fighting with the other gods, right? I think that's what he's doing. I've never heard anyone do this before, not like this. So
yeah, it's new to me.
It sounds smart, right? I mean, I guess, but
I mean, he certainly thinks Billy thinks so. Clearly, look at that shit-eating grin.
Oh yeah, he's pretty happy.
It's like, yeah.
We're
finally getting some truth up in here.
That's right.
And for $10, Jake, insert Klepper Dapper inside joke here. Nelson says, Dr. Kill, I am paying $10 to hear your translation of the Shema and how it relates to the linguistics of the current conversation.
So the Shema is
Deuteronomy
6:4. Shema Yisrael.
Is this the correct text? Or is this something totally different? Because I Googled it.
That's it. So it's the first two lines up there is the Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, can be translated a couple different ways. Here, Israel, Yahweh is our God. Yahweh one, the only Yahweh, Yahweh alone. And I don't have a strong opinion about how to translate that one because I don't want to get myself into trouble. but it's a problematic text because I think what can you pull it back up, the question, or is
Oh,
this
yeah, I know. I
is
can
the
do
thing
this.
that
Let's see. $10 to hear your
so yeah,
translation. Your translation,
and
yeah,
how
of
it
the Shema.
relates to the
and how it
linguistics
relates
of
to
the
the
current
linguistics
conversation.
of the
So,
concept.
like the most natural translation of this is Yahweh is our God. Yahweh is one or alone. But probably one. But then,
Is that the
there's
first
just
line or is
not.
that the full thing?
That's
So
just
when
the
you
first two
is
lines,
it just
and yeah,
are
it's just
these the
those.
first two lines or
Yeah,
is it this and this?
no,
Because
No, the first
I
two.
sort of
No. Those are two sentences. He said 2 lines.
okay, but I would have thought that this was just like the formatting of this website.
it
That's why
probably is. But I was
yeah.
trying to be clear.
The-
So
I'm so sorry. It was these two because I
yeah,
thought it might be
and
this
that's
No.
and then these two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
so.
Well,
But
the
it,
way the
Well,
website is formatted,
yeah.
yeah. The
So,
first sentence.
reasonable.
but you see, like this is often
Yeah.
promoted as like a declaration of monotheism, like there is no one but Yahweh. And it hinges on whatever you decide to do with those last two words. Yahweh is one, Yahweh alone, Yahweh the one. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's like Yahweh the one,
He's
The
like
one,
he's.
like
the
Neo.
one or
It's like
alone. Is you're saying it could either be the one or
I
alone?
don't like alone because it doesn't look right. Like I would expect it. I'd expect a different word there. It's
Okay.
possible, but some of what's frustrating about a lot of these texts is that what is it my friend Joel likes to say? Like they're really dense, but not in a helpful way. I don't know, is there ever helpfully dense text? I don't know. But it's like they're uh they're opaque. That's a
Mhm.
better word.
Okay.
Like the meaning is often frustratingly unclear. Like
Mhm.
on it, there's
Ulysses.
probably like within the
Yeah.
world that this was written and first recited, people knew what was going on. They
Mhm.
understood what this means, but I I just don't think we do anymore. There's a
Yeah.
lot of text like that, right? So,
I tried to read Ulysses once.
mm,
I got 1.5 pages in. I'm not exaggerating. 1.5 pages in, I had spent 15 minutes at that point, and I was like, no,
Wow.
no, I'm done. It
So Jake is
it's hard.
saying the singular or plural of God in Hebrew
Um, he's asking what?
and
Sorry,
how it the singular or plural of God in Hebrew and how it changes based on usage.
is he talking about just this?
Hashem is
well,
unity.
and well, the broader context was like how it relates to the overall conversation. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
probably whatever you think is potentially interesting and or relevant.
So, like, I'll just point this out. Like, we've got Yahweh is our Elohim, right?
Mhm.
And it's in the construct form there, so it's Elohe, new,
Ah.
um, right? Uh, and then yeah, Yahweh one. So yeah, I'll just say when it comes to making decisions about when to translate the word Elohim as a proper plural, referring to gods, I try to do it sparingly, and usually only if I've got indicators from context, like elsewhere in the text, plural verbs, right? Or plural pronouns or things of that nature.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, I don't know how else to respond to Jake.
Fair
No,
enough.
that's
No,
But
we've
yeah. No, I mean you've spent a good amount of time on that.
yeah, that was it. Trust me, like if every super chat got like that amount of answers across
Like that would be
YouTube,
the whole. Yeah.
it like YouTube would immediately be worth $1 trillion.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
sources.
And streams
And
would
until you
never end.
realize that, all the battles of the Old Testament make no sense at all. And they make
Exactly.
no sense if you think Yahweh means the creative source.
Most of the battles in the Old Testament are between human armies and nations. Like that, what?
They're not any different from
Yeah.
other
Well, except for the
battles.
arm raising thing.
Yeah, I
Remember?
guess so.
Yeah.
I guess
Well,
so.
he didn't say that. I brought it up because I was.
But it's cool.
Yeah. I thought
It is
Very
cool.
cool.
Also, that one time in Joshua, I think when the sun just stayed up, or it wasn't the same time, was it?
no.
No,
Okay.
that was a different time.
Yeah.
They had
So
a
the
lot of wars.
But
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was going to say, on some level, though, too, these are, because we've already established that individual gods control their individual territories, these are battles on behalf of your god, presumably in combat with, another god. It's never presented that way in the text.
Okay.
It's just lots of people killing each other.
Yeah. Yeah. So for $9.99, cute. Rory said,
Pre-Yiddish uranium decay.
Thank you. God, it's getting late. Q has
Keller.
omnipotence, but only for the Milky Way galaxy. The Doctor has omnipotence for all universes, including in space and e space, but chooses not to use it. Q is a child compared to the Doctor.
Is he capable of choosing to use it? Because until that's demonstrated, like, if you're unable to use something in your power, it means it's not in your power.
I don't know what's happening right now.
Andy wants receipts.
I do. Also, I want receipts, but I've never really watched Doctor Who, so full disclosure.
Cosmos. Why on earth would God need to go to war with these other little beings, whoever they are, and involve human foot? It doesn't make sense until you realize plural Elohim, of whom Yahweh is one.
Absolute facts. And right behind me are the Elohim of ancient Kemet, now known as Egypt. On the walls of this temple, you see some of what the ancient Kemet commission.
Is he in a temple?
He must be.
Oh.
Grayson was streaming from inside Solomon's temple last week. He was.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I know. I asked him to take some pictures.
Yeah.
People called the Naturu. And the Naturu came at the time of Zep.
Is this?
I don't. They don't still have that one in Egypt, do they? I've never been.
I mean, that's a super old model. I mean, probably not.
The last time I saw something like this was in District 9, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That was a good movie.
Tepe, when the gods came from.
But that's at the bottom of the end of the continent. It's really far away from Egypt.
Far from Egypt. Very far.
Yeah.
Heaven to earth and turned mud into a kingdom.
Oh.
The Doctor gifted some memberships, so I just wanted to welcome Sharonda, Kristen, Honeycutt, Kibblebee's mom, God, Sarah, says you should just kick harder, and BTF Wayne, welcome to the fold. Please continue to enjoy your tapioca weasels, your nitties, and vaginas.
Some of what the ancient Commission people called the Naturu. And the Territorial came at the time of Zep Tepi, when the gods came from heaven to earth and turned mud into a kingdom. And at some point, they all went to war.
Into a kingdom.
Wait, what?
What? Did any of that track?
Did we skip a lot of steps?
Yeah. Like,
because I know that he took mud and made Adam, and then yada 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 kingdom.
I mean, you can make buildings out of mud. Like, I mean, when it all boils down to
Not
it,
in the Bible.
it's true. I don't know. I often feel like when Billy talks,
it's just like syllables that arrange themselves into something that tends to pass as a grammatically correct sentence, but there's no guarantees.
Just mouth sounds.
It's just
Yeah.
sounds. Yeah.
Just like you stated in the book of Deuteronomy.
I want to mention, and we talk about external corroboration, but this is really interesting. I mentioned how Jeremiah, 1 or 2 Kings.
Is there a reason why at the bottom right of his screen it says
BS?
I didn't even see that. Oh my God. That's awesome.
Shift.
Credibility is
I mentioned how Jeremiah talk about this narrative shift where Judaism becomes monotheism, and we have to forget all the other Elohim. So all the temples to Milcom, Dagon, Asherah, they have to be demolished. The altars have to be broken. The figurines of Asherah have to be broken so they can't be used in harvest.
There's some figurines of Asherah, you guys.
Aww.
It's pretty cool.
She has tits.
Yeah, and she's always holding on to them. She apparently
not
had
this
tits,
one,
but no bra. So
damn it, I hate it when that happens. Why is she always like? Is that like? Why is she doing that?
So it's like she's the mother. She's presenting.
Oh,
this is coming.
Okay.
You know.
For the yes, I'm my mother. I must present my tits. For
she's not holding her.
Yeah.
See.
Well, she's missing her arms.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Which you can't assume. Okay.
Hey. All right. So she's actually this is like. Because I think I'm seeing nipples. Like she's actually presenting her bare tits. Yep. Okay, gotcha.
And I'm an historian. Assume is all we do.
That's all anybody does, honestly. I mean, physicists are the same way. We're just like, it's probably math.
Your hooligan has also gifted us 5 more cult members.
Nerd!
And that went to D Parks, Jason Hyatt, Tom, Giovanni Emir of Hassan, and who am I missing? Someone. But anyway.
Nobody, because YouTube hates us.
No,
but
we
probably
actually didn't have that many. Yeah, not yet. So I'm wondering if, how sometimes it takes it a while to
it takes a
do what it does because it hates us.
It's got,
but
it hates you, okay?
Welcome, new cult members. Please enjoy your tapioca weasels, your middies, and vaginas, and your hood, and thank you so much.
This is your channel. I'm just baggage.
That's what I tell my friends.
Priesthoods, which were Jewish priesthoods, set up by Jewish kings, had to be disbanded or slaughtered. And now we've just got this much simpler world where there is one God, Yahweh, and one king, and one high priest, and one temple.
Like, that's a very old way of thinking about this. This is pretty outdated. That was the tendency to imagine that monotheism, the idea that Yahweh was the only God and there were no others, is something that happened pretty early, like, close to the time of the exile, but I don't think scholars tend to think like that anymore, and we have a slightly different way of reading texts in the Bible that we once understood as promoting this monotheistic ideal, just of reading those a little bit differently. Like, actually, one of the things that I've started to do when I look at this literature is all those places, and there's a lot of them, where Yahweh and his prophets are complaining and bitching about all the other gods. I think what's actually happening is more political than anything. And a lot of this is kind of a way for this small kingdom in Judea to sort of assert itself against, everybody else. It never worked out well for them. This isolationist sort of policy. You guys understand that, right?
We're Americans, yes, we do.
We're in a trade war. Did you know that? We're
Yeah, we
right in
noticed.
it.
We noticed.
Yeah,
We did
did
notice.
too.
For the record, you're not getting any of the super chat money.
Yeah, clearly. But it's like
and
that,
and for
right?
the record, Canadians, we're so sorry.
Yeah, so are we.
I swear to God, I didn't vote for
Well,
this.
yeah, but that's because you're Canadian. You're always sorry. I'm sorry. You're always sorry. There we go.
But we're scowling about it now.
We've pissed off the Canadians.
You look out.
We're
sending our killer geese across the border, y'all.
Yeah,
Do you
don't-
need the address to the White House?
You don't want that.
I don't take shit from those geese, okay? When one of those geese hisses at me, I full on turn around and I go, "You want to come at me?" And I stamp at it and I start like kicking towards it. And like my blood pressure goes way up because I'm still terrified. But normally it is too, and I grit my teeth and I push through it like a boss.
It's the right response, Vandy. I ran over one with my mountain bike once.
My brother once, like, there was a goose just like looking at him while he was driving. He's like, "You have time to move. I'm not stopping." And the goose, like, apparently it ducked at the very last moment but like its head got clipped because it was like walking all discombobulated after when he looked at it in the rearview mirror. Yeah. So that might be a crime.
Cool story,
Sorry.
bro.
They are a nuisance.
In Jerusalem, all your tithes are going to go to that. So this narrative shift happens. This reform happens. It begins with a ritual reform, and then the scriptures themselves are put together and redacted into what we would know today.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, wow. And it just ends now.
Yeah, Billy is shit at putting like clips together.
That video.
Does he do them himself? Do you think, Maya?
Probably.
Might
be a safe bet.
So the guest on that video was this guy. Okay? And in that video, he came across, in my opinion, way better than he deserves. Okay?
It's a highly credible human being.
I want to look at his about statement. Can you guys...
Yeah, sure, real quick. For $2, Jester says, "Oh God, they learned their grip from Far Cry 5. And I'm assuming that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm 51.
Yeah, and I'm not far behind you. Hey, you look like a kid. What is Far Cry? Is that a video game?
It sounds like a video game. I've never played Far Cry. I have heard of it. I'm pretty sure it's a video game franchise.
All right, you're going to read the about page.
The About page. Welcome. This channel probes the world's mythologies, mystical traditions, and ancestral narratives for their insights into human origins, human potential, and our place in the cosmos. I am the author. That's not a problem. I actually don't have a problem with that. I am the author of the best-selling Eden series, Escaping from Eden, The Scars of Eden, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. Click and subscribe.
The Eden Conspiracy.
Where we get into some of the great stuff.
They didn't teach you about the Eden Conspiracy in Bible school?
Or Echoes of Eden? Or the Invasion of Eden? I mean, perhaps you need to hear about this guy's endorsements. Okay?
Eric von Daniken.
Eric von Daniken. One of my best colleagues and a brilliant author. His
Wait, do you know that person?
Proofs, yes. Eric von Daniken is... What did he write? He's a whack job.
Did he write Chariots of the Gods?
I think he might have written Chariots of the Gods, yeah.
Oh, no.
I think... Yeah, so but he's one of the biggest names in in the ancient aliens thing, because this guy believes in ancient aliens.
Oh no! Eric Anton Paul von Daniken is a Swiss author of several pseudoscientific books which make claims about extraterrestrial influences on early human culture, including the best-selling Chariots of the Gods, published in 1968. Oh my god!
Wow. The second guy on this guy's list of recommenders is Avi Loeb, who is a character.
Oh.
Avi Loeb, the brilliant Paul Wallace, offers a fascinating answer. Avi Loeb is this wackadoodle astrophysicist at Harvard who is way more into aliens than a person in his position has any legitimate reason to be.
Wow.
Because looking for signs of extraterrestrial life is a respected thing in astronomy nowadays. It's taken a long time to get there, but it is. There is, you don't have to, it's not a crackpot thing. But he's like a crackpot about it. It's weird.
He is
George Norrie.
I don't know him.
I believe he took over Coast to Coast when Art Bell stopped doing it. Yeah, I think so. George Norrie was a Coast to Coast host.
Wow.
This generation's Chariots of the Gods.
And that goes into Regina Meredith's comment that Paul Wallace is the new Von Daniken.
Wow.
This is who we're talking about, okay? This is his videos page. The last videos, Jesus, Resurrection, and the Mystery of Consciousness, fine. Jesus and Aliens, E.T. Contact in the New Testament. This was the one that we were first looking at. Did Jesus believe Yahweh was an E.T.? And so it just goes like this, and it goes. And so we wanted to
obviously the answer is yes.
You want to hurt me.
We wanted to just lure you into a false sense.
We just want you to explain why you've been lying to us for all this time, because these are biblical scholars,
big Bible,
highly esteemed in their field, and they're telling us other shit.
Yeah, it's big Bible.
And so this is our second video of the evening. Okay. And we got to do the thing again. It is, so this is Paul Wallace's channel, and you didn't know this guy's name? Now you do. You're welcome. 145,000 subscribers. This is from 2 years ago in 10 days, and it has almost 31,000 views. The title of the video, Alien Invasion in the Book of Enoch. Human Hybridization in the Bible. Paul Wallace video clip.
The Book of Enoch was in the Dead Sea Scrolls, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So you know what's in it, right?
Oh
Yeah.
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 Now, I
So
have
you never. I've watched a lot of the videos on your channel, and I'm thinking maybe I just
That's
missed
nice.
the one
Paul White.
where like there were aliens that
aliens.
like overthrew the world
Yeah,
or whatever he's going to talk
you
about.
might have.
Mm.
It's still in production.
Oh, is that what's going on? All
I
right.
I haven't talked a lot about the Book of Enoch yet.
Mm-hmm.
How much?
Oh,
I haven't.
right. We're
So,
just
well,
getting
you know,
around.
we'll get
There's
there.
so much stuff to
Getting
talk
around to
about.
it, right?
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
For $2, Left-Handed Jedi says, which came first, Akhenaten
Akhenaten.
or Hebrew monotheism?
Oh, Akhenaten.
Wasn't he the one
Easily.
that was killed because he wanted monotheism?
Well, I don't know. Was he? He was he was the apostate pharaoh
Yeah.
of Egypt, right? I don't
Right.
know. I actually don't know much about him. Was he killed? Did they kill him? Because
How do you not know much about this? Okay, wasn't the Bible written in Egypt?
Yeah. That's
As a
tell
pharaoh,
me.
Akhenaten is noted for abandoning traditional ancient Egyptian religion of polytheism and introducing Atonism, or worship centered around Aten. So yeah, I would assume that monotheism would have come before. After the overthrow. He
Hebrew
died. Like
monotheism.
I'm pretty sure they're pretty sure that like he was killed because immediately after that happened, prematurely, everybody started worshiping multiple gods again.
They went back to the old ways. Yeah.
Well, we're about to have Paul Wallace in association with.
Click on the links in the description to watch the full video.
The fifth
kind.
The Book of Enoch describes in dramatic detail a period in which 200 watchers arrive on planet Earth and begin abducting human females.
Is that strictly true? But is it strictly true? You're not saying no, which means yes. Yep, exactly. I never read the Book of Enoch.
No.
I could tell based on your reaction because you don't want to tell our audience the truth, okay? Because you're working for Big Bible, just
Big
like
Bible.
I'm working
That's
for
true.
Big Anti-Magnet because I'm a good person.
That's
Government still.
just protecting. We're just protecting y'all.
And we don't want the Book of Enoch to come back and abduct us.
No.
Watchers arrive on planet Earth.
Sorry, I know. But people love throwing money at us because don't got the good throwing arm to get the panties over here. So, money's the next best thing. For $5, Right-Handed Sith. I love how he changed his whole name. Right-Handed Sith says, just remember, the reason war crimes exist is because Canadians did them before they became war crimes.
We
Wow,
burned
I
your
can't believe it
house
came out of my
down. Yo,
God.
we did that.
Shout out to the natives. We love you.
And begin abducting human females. With these women, the Watchers produce hybrid beings who are human in form, but far larger than normal human beings. Mythologies around the world.
Okay, so there were genetic crossbreeding experiments in the Book of Enoch to create a race of. Dude, the Book of Enoch sounds awesome.
It is pretty awesome. Yeah, it's a fun book.
Corroborate the Book of normal human beings. Mythologies around the world corroborate the Book of Enoch's account of abductions by extraterrestrial presences exiled on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Is this one of those examples where they take any example of like a entity that is kind of mysterious stealing a person and are like, "Yup, that matches."
Feels like it could be that.
That was
wow.
You just got yoinked, Doctor. You just got yoinked. Okay.
He did.
let me just.
Wow, that was worse than when I got yoinked. What the fuck? Come back. See, they don't want him to speak truth to power.
Yeah, well, that was crazy. That
was almost as bad as the time that the same thing happened to you. Was it 2 weeks ago?
That was 2 weeks ago. To be fair, well, I guess it is after. Yeah. Well, he's typing on Discord, so, who knows?
Oh, he is. Maybe it's from his phone. Like, better not be from his computer, goddammit, because he should be like logging back in.
His
Fuck, my computer crashed.
It is from his phone. Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh, that's not good.
Oh, no, you got to get back in here, Dr. Kip, because we teased you for this video, and this video is only 4.5 minutes long. Okay, it's not we can get through it, but you have to do this to yourself. I don't know if he's watching. He may not be watching. He may only be on Discord. Oh, this when
I wonder if there's an axe murderer outside of his house. Like, oh no, he's back. Okay,
that was fast. You must have a solid state hard drive.
Oh, he can't hear you.
You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hear you now.
Hello. Okay. So I don't know. I think actually, because it says that I have 1% battery on my computer. It's plugged in. But I wonder if it just, that was weird. I'm sorry, guys.
That was weird.
Hopefully
I did that 2 weeks ago, and I'm the co-host, so
Well, didn't your internet go out or something?
Yeah, no, I can't remember if it was my internet. I think it was the internet. Yeah, it just cut out. It was really weird.
Yeah, and he just left. I was just like, did I piss him off? Was there too many magnet jokes? What is happening?
It was just gone.
Anyway, this guy was saying that all of the different... What was he saying? Hold on. Let's just go back 10 seconds.
The hybrids,
5 seconds?
right? Genetic experiments. Corroborated by mythologies from all over the world. All of them.
Actions by extraterrestrial presences exiled on planet Earth. Although quoted verbatim in the New Testament letter of Jude and accepted as scripture by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, the Book of Enoch has never been included in the internationally accepted canons of scripture.
I'm sorry.
This is an extremely purple Bible.
The international canons of scripture? He just said, and it's true, that the Ethiopian church, they also
claim to have the Ark of the Covenant, though.
They do.
So.
Pretty cool, right? That's kind of metal.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be if it were.
Yeah.
True.
My understanding is that is being held by top men in a warehouse. You were
Purple
glitching.
Says the aliens want to have $3 times sex with them.
Top men.
Yeah, you're lagging behind by about a few seconds. Anyway.
I am.
Whoa, yeah.
For either Judaism or Christianity.
The fact that the Book of Enoch isn't in the official...
This guy's fashion sense, something else.
Top tier.
Canons of scripture, I don't think is particularly important. First of all, we should acknowledge that it is in the canon of the Bible in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. It was quoted by...
This is no good.
Oh no, you can't hear. Oh no.
Wait, you can't hear anything?
He's been glitching this whole time.
He has.
And so I was hoping that he would catch up while I was complimenting this guy's aggressively whatever fashion choice, because it's bold. it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him. Is like, and
I don't
see
know.
now.
His internet, it's
Wow,
I'm
look at
not
that. Sorry, I am way
yeah.
behind and I'm lagging, and this is no good.
Yeah. I mean, you got through a 10-minute video. Maybe, and it's 2 hours. So maybe we just call this one.
Oh, we can't call this one. Like, this was the payoff by
You can't see it.
You get let him restart. He'll be back in 2 minutes.
You want to restart?
Yeah, that's what he said on Discord. So.
Oh, okay. I just saw that. Sorry, I'm in a different thing. Kind of wondering if there's anything that I can play in the meantime, like while we're waiting for him, because I'd be bad at the banter. Or what do we have going on in the chat? Gospel of Judah is a wild ride. Judah. I'm thinking of the one of Judah. The Gospel of Judah.
Was it the Gospel of Judah or the Book of Judah? Because or Jude or the Book of Jude?
I have no idea.
Hold on. What did he say?
Well, Breakwin said the Gospel of Judah is a wild ride, and I haven't seen the Gospel of Judah. I've seen the Gospel of read, sorry, the Gospel of Judas, which is I don't know, a bit of a diss track, I'll say.
Oh snap! My DoorDash is here. I'll be back in 5 minutes, Maya.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I'm just kidding.
Shia LaBeouf. Do you have Shia LaBeouf? They're asking for Shia LaBeouf.
I always have Shia LaBeouf.
That is great because I actually need to. Like I started drinking early. I'll be honest.
This happens. Let's do it.
Chester, you're amazing. That is a great, and I will not be gone for a whole Shia LaBeouf. But
you're walking in the woods. Perfect. There's no stump leg. You've beaten Shia LaBeouf.
Wait, he isn't dead. Shy surprise, there's a gun to your head and death in his eyes, but you can do jujitsu. Body slam superstar Shia LaBeouf. Legendary fight with Shia LaBeouf. Normal Tuesday night for Shia LaBeouf. You try to swing an axe at Shia LaBeouf, but blood is draining fast from your stump leg. He's dodging every swipe. He parries to the left. You counter to the right. You catch him in the neck. You're chopping off his head now. You have just decapitated Shia LaBeouf.
His head topples to the floor, expressionless. You fall to your knees and catch your breath. You're finally safe from Shia LaBeouf.
Woo, Shia LaBeouf. All right. And still no Dr. Kev. You know what? I guess you're just going to have to talk to me.
No.
Ha ha ha.
Do I have to? There we go. Thank God. I was almost subjected to a fate worse than death.
Yeah, you're just going to have to talk to me. And,
oh, no.
You know, I mean, the only thing I have to say to that is... Oh, oops.
Stop it. Get some help.
Okay. But right. I have to share this tab instead.
Okay. That is right. Hurt.
This was my point. Also, very purple Bible.
It is very purple.
Oh, you know what? I could have read this while we were waiting for Dr. Kemp. For $5, Jake, God, insert clever, dapper, dino joke, inside joke here. Nelson, God damn it. Jake, insert clever, dapper, inside joke here. Nelson says, my mind is clear now. At last I can see. All too well, we all soon will be Jesus.
Jesus Christ Superstar. It was a quote.
I am getting that. I haven't seen Jesus Christ Superstar since I was like 12.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I don't know. In Catholic school, they wanted us to see it.
It feels like a strange movie to be watching in Catholic
I mean,
school.
it's a musical, aren't they all?
Yeah. Okay.
Or Christianity.
The fact that the Book of Enoch isn't in the official canons of Scripture, I don't think is particularly important.
The Ethiopian church might want to have a word with this guy.
Fair.
You know.
Important. First of all, we should acknowledge that it is in the canon of the Bible in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church.
There we go.
It was quoted by Clement of Alexandria, one of the most significant of the early church fathers, as if it was scripture. The book.
No, we can't. Okay, we can't talk about magnets.
You can't have civil conversations about magnets.
No.
Well, not without some notice.
Like throwing a fucking fit.
I've done streams about magnets where I shut up and I give the party line and I play the NASA shill and I tell you about, Maxwell's equations.
Leo will be on next week. Maybe you can talk about magnets then.
Oh God, thank you for the warning.
Book of Jude, when he wants to quote the Enoch of the Bible, he quotes the Book of Enoch word by word. He assumes that his readers, his New Testament readers, have read the Book of Enoch. I think the significance of that really can't be exaggerated.
What?
What?
He's excited that.
Do you think that that's unexaggeratable? Because I feel like you give me some time and I can exaggerate a whole lot out of nothing. Okay.
True.
Yeah. I mean, I've turned a channel with no content and a trench coat into, well, still no content, but people make fun of me about magnets now, which is something.
That
I hate my life.
Something. For $4.99, Dr. Kip calls himself, Reisner, pre-Yiddish, uranium decay color, says Dr. Kip calls himself a biblical scholar, but has never seen Jesus Christ Superstar? What?
I know.
And also, Nitty, for no money whatsoever, says, Kip, I'm sorry, Trump is threatening war. And to that I say, to Dr. Tapioca Weasel, I told you so. And again, to our Canadian friends, we are sorry. God damn it.
Yes.
The stories told in the Book of Enoch are really an unpacking of narratives that we find in canonical books, Genesis, Ezekiel, the Gospels, and the New Testament. So in that sense, it's a book that...
I don't know about the New Testament. The Book of Enoch was written a long time before the New Testament.
Oh, what? So, when do they believe it was written?
Well, like a lot of these texts are expansive over time, but the earliest layers of the earliest portions of the Book of Enoch go back to like the early 2nd, maybe even the late 3rd century BC. And yeah, it's I mean, I guess some of the later portions maybe could be contemporary with the New Testament, but yeah. So
interesting. And for $5, Jake, insert clever dapper inside joke here. Nelson says, #Tap is afraid of magnets because of the goddess Maya's magnet power. I can pseudoscience too. Waha. With the best of them.
Believers shouldn't be frightened of reading. It is a book absolutely affirmed by the canonical scriptures themselves.
Nobody should be frightened of reading anything, but that's just me.
Well, I have some fanfics that might break that rule.
I mean, there's a lot of terrible things written, but you can always just make the choice to stop reading.
Well, yeah, but that means,
right?
but if you're saying that you should make the choice to stop reading, then that means that you should be afraid of keeping reading. See, you can't contradict yourself like that, Dr. Kill.
No. Yes, Nitty's right. Enoch is awesome, awesome trippy stuff.
What's your favorite part of Enoch?
You know, there is a part in Enoch where it talks about angels having horse-sized penises, which is pretty good. So
why do angels need penises?
I mean,
to have sex with.
You need those to have sex with the women that you're
right, so that you can
from Earth, right?
Breathe the Nephilim, and God can flood the world. Like, how do you get that without angel penises?
Exactly. Great big ones like horses.
Oh, right, but of course they have to be huge, because why wouldn't you have a huge one?
It's funny because I was in grad school and did a seminar on the Book of Enoch right around the same time the Watchmen came out, the movie. And when I went to go watch that movie, I kept giggling because every time, you know, naked Dr. Manhattan was on the screen, all I could think about was you know, Enoch's angels with horse penises. I was like, this is funny.
Do you think that could have been a inspiration?
Maybe, but I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a universal trope.
Yeah,
it's a thing that
it's
seem to dwell
on. I think it's a guy thing.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I think this is Nara admitting to having a super huge horse cock.
Yes, clearly.
Way to go.
Yeah.
The Book of Enoch's story of 200 watchers coming to planet Earth and hybridizing with human females results.
Planet Earth. Like.
Yeah. What? Hold on. I don't think you fully understood and internalized the subtext through which you need to understand everything this guy believes, which is that aliens. Okay, aliens. It's all aliens.
Mm-hmm.
So planet Earth is just another stop along the way.
Yeah, but this is all like, this all happens in the book. This all happens on Earth. Like, nobody thinks there's planets. Certainly not other planets. They don't even think of Earth as a planet.
Well, the aliens that didn't grow up here certainly do. Right, Maya? Come on.
Maybe I'm not reading the Book of Enoch in its original Klingon. That's
the problem. You have to read the Book of Enoch, the Book of just
Klingon.
like Shakespeare, in its original Klingon. The Book of Klingon is probably also written in the original Klingon.
I'll have a talk with Dapper Dinosaur after this.
Well,
he can set me straight.
Indeed.
Yeah.
In giants, well, that's hybridizing with human females, resulting in giants. Well, that's a narrative that you can find repeated. It's there in Genesis 6, but it's there in the narratives of.
Like, we just have to kind of underscore like, when I hear the word hybridizes, that sounds very techie, and I think it betrays this just the wrong sense of what is going on.
He's taking this literally.
What?
He's taking this literally.
Oh, what is going on is, it's like I said, I talked about this a little bit earlier, how the gods, the divine beings, generally were thought to be like big people, big humans, basically, who just also happen to live very, very, very long times, if not forever. So they sure didn't understand angels impregnating human women as like hybridization. It's just, it's just you could have sex with an angel, you could have sex with a goat. It, and different things happen when you do that.
Indeed.
Right?
Indeed.
Yeah.
There's
So
and what are those things? And is there only one way to find out?
So there are a lot of other, and
Someone's
I
cooking
know
that,
it's not
okay.
your area of expertise, but it wasn't uncommon for gods to
have sex with people? No.
people, yeah,
No.
and a lot
It's
of
just-
gods. I can't think of any off the top of my head because it's late and I'm old. But a
Mhm.
lot of gods were from human women, like their dads had sex with a woman, and they were full god because you would assume that the god gene would be dominant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But somehow aliens.
I would, yeah.
Or alien, because
It's always aliens.
yeah, duh.
Cultures all around the world. You can find it in African stories, Indian stories, Greek stories, the Sumerian stories. It's there in Genesis chapter 6 and in the narratives of cultures all around the world. And the story is always the same.
Must be true.
Beings of another.
Is it always the same, though?
I bet, right?
I mean, he said it was. I mean, it must be true because why would he say it was if it weren't true?
Well, if you boil it down to entity from another place that we personify with incredible powers, does cool stuff, and then whatever, then that's gonna be everywhere.
I mean, the story in the book of Enoch and the story in Genesis 6, which out of this list are clearly the most two closely related to each other, it's not exactly the same in those two versions either. It's yeah, interesting.
Interesting.
Are his
Another
glasses
kind
green?
coming to.
Why what?
Are they green? His glasses?
I think so.
They're turquoise.
That's kind of cool.
They're a greenish
Not gonna lie.
turquoise.
They look emerald, but okay, whatever.
It's for reading Billy Carson's Emerald Tablets of Thoth, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I
Yeah,
mean, you
that
need
could-
the emerald. Yeah, you need the emerald glasses to read the
read
emerald tablets. So it is known.
It is
It is
known.
known.
Planet Earth, hybridizing and interbreeding with human females and resulting in a different kind of being.
What is a kind, good sir? No definition of kind. No definition of kind. I don't know if that's a bingo square. I totally forgot about bingo, but there's been a lot of bingo squares. Like you should scroll up and find the. We didn't have anybody calling it, so it doesn't matter. But no definition of kind.
Called a giant or a titan or a Nephilim.
In the West, these ancient accounts of abduction and interbreeding have been read as fables. The beings exiled
Yes,
to Earth.
I wonder why.
Oh, it was clearly because ancient humans, and by ancient I mean like humans of 3,000 years ago, were clearly dumber than us today. So
Obviously.
so they thought they were fables because, and now that we're smarter, we know better.
That must be it.
Are interpreted as mythical beings, or nothing more than literary creations. Some interpret the Watchers of Enoch and the Mummy Water people as spiritual beings.
What are the mummy water people?
Mummy water people?
That's what I heard. Is
Kip.
that what you guys heard?
Dr. Kip.
I don't know anything about the mummy
Oh,
water
God
people.
damn it. You went to Bible school and everything.
I specialize very narrowly. I'm good for almost nothing.
How is this not
This
an
is my
intro to-
point.
How is this not an intro to Bibleism? The mummy
Maya-
water people?
Maya, you know how useless I am?
Yeah, I do.
It applies to all doctors.
Yes.
It applies to all of us. Okay? Sorry.
Some interpret the Watchers of Enoch and the Mamiwata people as spiritual beings rather than a species like ourselves.
Spiritual being.
But this
Rather than a species. That's an intense look right there.
That is. It really is.
explanation fails to account for the narrative of interbreeding.
That's not interbreeding. This is
for that.
Are they
Is this
spiritual?
interbreeding?
Or like I feel like
It's a
he doesn't
wonderful-
understand what a species is. God.
Which species concept, though, right?
But
Because
I mean,
there's like
okay,
800 of them.
look, they are spiritual as opposed to a species. So how the fuck do they breed?
They're just that kind of thing.
What is a kind?
Yeah, there's no definition of kind.
Many of the Christian and shamanic traditions of Africa take a more concrete view.
Now, some would say these watchers are angels, but the word angel doesn't tell us what kind of being they are. What we can say is that they come from space, that they are physical every bit as much as we are, that they are similar enough to us to be able to hybridize with us, different enough that the result of that hybridization is different to us.
I really feel like he's overthinking this.
What is the understanding of the Watchers?
They're angels.
Yeah, but that doesn't say what kind of being they are, okay?
No, they are angels, and the kind
they're
of
fucking
angels
angels,
they
that's
are is
being.
Watcher. Like, there are different types of kinds of angels.
Well,
Watcher is a
also,
kind
I
of
feel like angel is a kind.
There are different kinds of angels. I don't know what to tell you, sport. I mean, this is a thing that's known, but he wants to use kinds and species together like it's a thing. Like there are different kinds of workers. There are different kinds of angels.
Yep.
But there's not like different kinds of humans. We're just a fucking species. He doesn't seem to understand that. Anyways, yeah, they're okay. Let's go with this. The Watchers are a type of angel, right?
Yeah.
And
they're the I mean they're called the Watchers. It's a term that also is used in the book of Daniel, and elsewhere in the Dead Sea Scrolls. But they're like heavenly guardians. They're like the ones who they watch things. They look after stuff.
Are they stalkers?
Stalkers.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Is it, are they like Santa? Like, you
Yeah.
know,
Santa the Watcher.
They, you know,
They
know
know
see you
when
when
you're
they see you when you're sleeping, and they know when you're awake. They know when
exactly.
you're bad or good. Yeah.
So be good for goodness sake. Please don't come for me, Sam.
Hey, I need
God.
to chastise the 17% of the chat that hates puppies. What the fuck,
What?
guys?
Oh, that was me. Yeah.
Oh.
Screw puppies. I always vote for the contrarian position.
No,
Team
you
Weasel,
definitely-
yes.
But I feel like
There
you're
we
not.
go.
Well, yeah, and it's DeFreak, and I do need to call it DeFreak for like epically pissing off us and Bar's channel the other day. It was like, holy shit. But you kept me awake when I was trying to drive to work at 6 a.m. because who knew that was a fucking thing?
That's important.
I will never do that, Maya.
So Jester is always also wait, Jester, yeah, here we go. Member for 12 months. Way to go. Way to go. Speaking of angels, my D&D Weasel is able to angel?
I
didn't realize
wish
that
I
was a
knew
verb.
what that
I know.
meant because I guess I've never gotten that far in D&D.
Same. But thank you. Please continue to enjoy your Tapico Weasels, your nitties and vaginas.
They can travel great distances with great rapidity, maybe even interdimensionally. They come from the sky
Why
and they
not?
intervene harmfully in human affairs.
Wait, what?
Now,
The Watchers can
They-
travel interdimensionally.
Interdimensionally, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, maybe. Because even
True.
he
We did
knows that
qualify
he has literally no reason to say that. So when he's making something just like completely like out of his ass,
So-
then
Yeah.
sometimes he adds that qualifier, but not all the time. Most of the time he doesn't.
So I know there's like different levels of heaven and shit. And so are those like dimensions of heaven? I mean, since words have no meaning.
I suppose so.
Maybe that's it. That must be it.
Okay. And for $4.99, Vince O'Connor says there are different kinds of alcohol, which I appreciate.
I do.
Me too. Because you know what? Normally I have wine on the stream, but right now I have margarita, which is a different kind of alcohol.
It is.
And I appreciate that shit.
What is a kind, Maya?
Well, this is the margarita kind.
And it's different from the wine kind.
Is it related to the pine cone kind?
No. Nope.
Or the banana kind?
By
Have
any
you ever
account,
seen a pine cone give birth to a banana? Obviously, they're different.
Obviously.
Yeah, I've done a lot of incredibly powerful psychedelic drugs in my life, Maya. I haven't.
that sounds to me an awful lot like an extraterrestrial.
Okay. Or,
Click on the links in the description to watch the full.
I think we're done.
I think so. Wow. Well, that was fun and interesting.
So I wanna yeah, this guy is somebody that we're probably gonna cover again in the future because
Vandy really likes him.
Yeah.
Maya, did Eisenhower sign a treaty with aliens? I need to know.
I know a few people I can torture with that video.
Exactly.
Dr.
Is that
Kip.
a Paul Wallace one?
I don't know. We were today years old when we stumbled across his videos.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Can't say he won't make a reappearance, but yeah. Anyways, how are you feeling, Dr. Kip?
I'm tired, but yeah, I maybe it's always a little discouraging to little disappointing to see all the bullshit. So, it is. But I kind of I kind of exist in this sort of
love
stuff.
this shit.
I love the shit. I do.
Oh my god, you guys just have no idea. He'll like DM me. It's like you gotta watch this. It's the best thing ever. And it'll just be like some wackadoo, like it's just like I'm like half a step up from flat earth. And I'm like, oh my god, I have two of them in my life right now.
Was that the thing that you sent me? Because so Maya sent me a thing that you had sent that somebody had sent, or there's a chain of send.
Was it
Derek sent you a video.
It was last week. Yeah, it was
you
that.
sent it to me, and
It was
so
last. I haven't watched it. I need to. I'm gonna do that after the show.
The Amon Hillman Bob Larson.
I haven't actually. I
video.
haven't
Oh
even
my
seen
God.
it yet. So.
Like,
I
can't
might.
suffer alone.
I remember seeing you talk about it to other people in the chat, and I was like, "Oh shit, I gotta see this."
It's for anyone like if you grew up an evangelical in like the 80s or the 90s, you know who Bob Larson is. He used to do a radio show where people would call in and he would yell and argue with like Satanists and atheists and occasionally perform exorcisms. So
man, he would have thrived on YouTube.
Oh yeah. He's like 80 years old now and he's still kicking. But he ended up on the Danny Jones podcast with DC Amon Hillman. I won't get into it, but it's super nuts. One of my friends did elder abuse.
sorry.
So,
So Jake's just giving us his whole paycheck. For
oh
$5, he
wow.
says, Dr. Kill, I'm a fan. So I have a Chabad
Chabad
Lubavitch
Lubavitch
twist in
twist.
my take on thing.
Boy, that sounds
Do you know how to
exciting.
pronounce this? Can you read this? For me?
The Matisyahu fan, and he's got a Chabad Lubavitch twist to take on the Tanakh. To my take on the Tanakh. The Tanakh is the Hebrew Bible.
Hebrew Bible, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So wow,
Sure.
that sounds fun, man.
Yeah, 2 thumbs
You
up.
do you.
Thanks for the money, though.
Yeah.
Appreciate that shit.
Yeah.
I get none of it.
Bree is
She's horrible.
Bree is really impressed that you got to see a young Bob Larson.
Yeah. Yeah. See, Bree knows. But,
the Leon Kennedy says Carl Baugh is still alive. Conflicted.
How old is Carl Baugh?
It's gotta be old as shit.
He's so old. And if you guys haven't seen, you should check out Folding Ideas video on Carl Baugh. Came out a couple months ago. It's great.
Let's see. 88. He's born in 1936. Holy shit.
He's been pulling the Paluxy River tracks scam for 50, 60 years.
What is that?
The Paluxy River tracks?
Yeah. Okay. So Carl Baugh runs the Creation Museum on the Paluxy River. Carl Baugh has been around for a while. Logic has a fantastic series on Carl Baugh, Science in the 12th Century, and it's amazing. Carl Baugh will take a clearly bullshit carved out carving of a human foot that's on top of a dinosaur track. The Paluxy River has a ton of dinosaur fossil footprints. It's that the environment made just a bajillion of them. And so they're known for that internationally. But some people decide to carve in human feet and then sell them to Carl Baugh. and literally for the last 40 years, it has literally been sell them to Carl Baugh.
Do you think the first guy who thought to do this went, look at this fucking
they cover
idiot.
that.
I'm totally,
because Carl Baugh is the longest holding person of this scam, but he's not the first. Like there were people before him. He just is the one dude who's carried this forward, and that's what the video essay by this other guy does. It's hilarious. Also, Logic series on Carl Baugh, it's, in my opinion, it's better than his series on Kent Hovind. Hello, I'm a Scientist is his series on Kent Hovind. And that is... Hello, I'm a Scientist is canonical YouTube Kent Hovind content, anti-Kent Hovind content. So,
Logic is
of which there is a lot.
You knew that, right?
Logic is what?
Logic is a Canadian.
Yes, I do know that. He mentions it every fairly often. Mm-hmm. There's so many Canadians in the community. It's really crazy.
I don't know for sure, but based on some things that I've seen in his videos, I actually think he may be from my hometown where I grew up, which is
cool. Utopia?
Yeah, right. No. I think he might actually be from Calgary. I think. But
interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Hip, who are you? Where are you? What do you have coming up this week?
I'm Dr. I am unable to speak. Yeah, right. I'm not even drinking. I'm I finished a Coke.
What the fuck?
I know. Yeah, I know. So I'm a scholar of the Bible, and I'm a specialist in the Dead Sea Scrolls and early Jewish literature and history.
Nerd. Sorry.
I have a YouTube channel where I make content about those sorts of things, and I go after bad biblical scholarship, which most of the time, but not all the time, tends to be Christian apologetics.
Bad biblical scholarship. You could do BBS in
BBS?
addition to BSS.
Yes, right? Wow.
We could
We
like,
could be
do like a-
besties.
Yeah,
we could
yes.
be like bestie channels.
Totally.
Did we just become best friends?
Awesome. So, what do I have coming up? Nothing this week. So,
My kind of guy. There we
There's
go.
I'll be on a stream with I'll be on Myth Vision
Oh, cool.
this week on Thursday night from like 5 o'clock Pacific, starting at 5 o'clock Pacific. That's like 8 o'clock Eastern. And I'll be on with Dr. Josh, and we're going to be reviewing some parts of Alex O'Connor's appearance on Jubilee, an
I saw
atheist
that,
versus
yeah.
25 Christians. There's some YouTube content creators that are in that, eh? So some people
Yeah.
that I actually know because, you know, I have a problem, so I know all these people.
Yeah,
But
and I think Jubilee does that on purpose. Like they want people that they know are
in the
and I do
space.
the same thing here where we try at first I opened it up to the community, but now that I have so many people coming through, I'm trying to be more cognizant of who I am platforming.
Mm.
So now the thing is like I have to either have known you for a while to say, okay, yeah, this is a good dude, or you have to have like content so I can like vet you based on what you've been, your public profile.
Right.
And I believe Jubilee is just the latter where it's just like, okay,
You're on YouTube.
yeah. So, I mean, you can kind of
That
see, and it's
makes
not,
sense.
I don't think that they care about like, being vigilant, stewards of their platform. I think it's just so that they don't get, if you're saying that you're a Christian apologetics person, I want to be able to see that that's the team you're actually on.
Yeah.
Or if you're counter apologetics, as Alex is, I want to be able to see that you know what you're doing before I bring you on. And I mean, because bringing all these people on just to waste their time or, or to have, it's got to be expensive to do that. And to have that, and to not be able to like put out content for it. Like, yeah. So normally they're all people that have platforms and can, ostensibly bring their huge crowd to their show for views.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's where we'll do that on Thursday evening. I'll probably do a live stream this week. But I haven't planned it or scheduled it yet. I might actually spend some time looking at that Bob Larson, Amon Hillman video because it's a fucking train wreck. But yeah. So
no, cool. Yeah, I love Myth Vision. I love you. I love Dr. Josh. We actually, we both love you and Dr. Josh, and obviously Derek goes without saying. Nara, you are never on the internet. We're ready whenever you are.
I doubt Derek knows I exist.
No, there's no way. And I'm like maybe a degree of separation from Derek, and it feels like 5 just because like Derek is so busy, can't be reached, unless apparently or Dr. Josh or Kip. So, look at Bree. Oh my God, go on with your bad self.
Wow. Peter Boghossian. He's the guy who's written. He's the philosopher, right?
Yeah,
no. He's the
this guy. But
Peter Boghossian is he's the
street epistemology guy,
yes,
right?
He's that
Is
guy,
he? I had
right?
no idea.
Yes, but my understanding is that he's one of. I think he has some like not great trans takes. Is my memory.
That's my impression. Yeah.
All right. So my initial thought, fuck this guy, is accurate.
You're on track. Yeah, you're good. I think. So. I mean, I think he and Pine Creek are friends. So
exactly, that was exactly the sort. Yes.
Enough said.
Yeah.
Oh,
But before we go, Jake,
Noted. So is
I
that the
love
same
it.
kind
I
of
love it. I'm sorry, I have to read this.
the
Jake gave us money. Jake is giving like his entire paycheck to me. Nelson, Logic and Dr. Hip are included in my lawsuit against Canadians for my PTSD because of their damn geese.
Damn geese.
Oh,
They're damn geese.
Damn.
It's spelled like lamb.
Yeah.
It's damn spelled like lamb
Yeah.
because, censors.
That's
I don't know if they censor that word, but you never know.
What did I
Also,
geese?
they are right next to each other.
What did I miss with the geese? What's going on with geese? What did you do?
Canadian geese
Canadian
are
geese?
fucking Satan.
They are.
The worst.
Are they as bad as ducks? Ducks are
Oh
my
like
God.
They're flying
They're
magnets.
4 times the size. And
they hiss at you.
Yes.
And they'll go at you, which is why I get all up in their business and I start kicking.
Yeah. Yep, they're terrifying.
And they're like, okay, I'm not going to come back. But
Raptor
like,
chickens.
you just always remember, you are way bigger than them. Do not let them forget it. They are geese. Their bones are hollow. Their bones are hollow. They are geese. They are birds. Their bones are hollow.
They're
You just go,
dinosaurs.
hell no. And
Cobra
you
chickens.
can shut that shit down.
So, but is
You don't have to take that.
Is that going to be is that the same kind of lawsuit that that Billy Carson is filing against the Canadians? So
for what? Wait, I missed that.
no, when
Well,
West
if it's for killer geese, maybe Billy Carson isn't so bad.
no, he wants to sue Wes Huff. And,
I didn't even get kicked off.
Mark Minode and the other guy who were so cruel to set him up like that and to
oh my God.
Yeah. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah. 3 geese can take on 100
Canadian
ducks.
geese have gnarly spurs. They're evil dinosaurs.
You gotta be kicky.
Yeah. Yeah, you really
It's
do.
all a
Like
bluff.
really,
Swamp, on the other hand.
like
Oh,
they have
Bree's saying
long
that
necks,
they're
but they don't
bitches.
have teeth.
Bree says they're bitches. Like you got to watch out for swans.
Well, yeah, that's my point. But most people don't realize they're bitches, and like if you let them bluff you, they will come after you. But you're right. Swans are like properly large animals. Geese are not.
They really are.
Doc, do you have anything coming up at any time ever?
Me?
Yeah.
No. You can't say Doc when there are multiple.
Oh, there's 2 of you.
Yeah.
Well, like Kip's a real doctor though.
Well,
That was well established tonight.
I am too. That was not as well established tonight, but on other shows it has been. So I will rest on my papers.
All right, yeah. I believe tomorrow I will be in Skeptic Haven with Jay Bundy and
Nice.
maybe somebody else talking about black shit and bitching about politics because I'm a Black American and God, fuck this
And that
shit.
sucks right now.
It just it does, and it's really pissing me off that like other people aren't like Americans though, right? Like my countrymen are pissing me off, like half of them though.
Yeah.
Like my countrymen in the chat, like they're good peeps, they know what's up, but
No, but the other people think you're just making it all up, and you're doing it because I don't know. You're probably a welfare queen.
yeah, oh right, yeah, clearly, just angry Black woman. That's what all we do. There's no reason for for Black women to be angry. None at all. Nothing in history that could point towards that being justified at all. We're just angry because of the Blackness, and that's how that works. Yeah. So yeah, we talk about shit like this. Tomorrow though, today we're just lighthearted fun because we're going to jump off the work week on a good note. We're going to just be in love with community and support one another. And I don't know. I was thinking earlier when Joe from Kentucky Atheist was on, and I was thinking about Joe and Nitty and a number of the rest of you who are Jake's good peeps. I've seen you like try and fail, get discouraged, get back on the horse, and just be like super good dads and allies, and be just what's needed, not only for yourself and your families, but also what's needed for those in your community. And I appreciate that shit. And I want you to know that I see you, I appreciate you, because, being a good citizen is a thankless job. Like, holy shit. Sometimes you just need to hear thank you. $5. Jake, insert clever dapper inside joke here. Nelson says, I always want to say dino, and I think this was tripping me up.
Tripping you up.
Clever dapper inside joke here. Nelson says, humans are weird monkeys. Weird monkeys unite for a better.
Keep going. He did another one. You just gotta.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah.
For a better future. Ducking autocorrect.
Yeah. And that right there
was like, he's gonna continue with fucking. Like, no. Future.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's what I'm here for, Maya.
And I appreciate the decades.
Very few purposes.
That is so funny.
The main one is pressing the play button, and I'm not that great at that. So, yeah.
You did all right tonight.
You did good.
I mean, except for all the times you kept cutting off Dr. Kip, but it's neither.
Well,
nobody noticed.
Yeah, thanks. Anyways,
trying to keep the show on track.
So, Dr. Kip, was there anything you'd like to say that you didn't get to say?
I don't think so.
All right.
I'm good.
All right.
This was fun. I'm sorry. This was fun. I like coming on your show because you guys are fun. And
we try.
Fun, so
thank you for filling in for us today. Like, this is like extraordinarily weird.
Apparently, Jay Bundy went to the Super Bowl, didn't he? Is that what he's doing?
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with that.
That's happening, isn't it? Is that today? Or did he just go early?
I don't know what he did. It was sports, so I stopped listening. But he definitely could not be here, and that happened.
Mm-hmm. So here I am.
Yeah. So I mean, but Dr. Kip has always been a great friend of the show, and we appreciate you coming in like 4 hours notice. That was crazy.
I had a nap.
You did. You napped good. You nap good. And we're gonna have to schedule on for another time to, torture you. It's later in the year. So, or whenever you finish that book. I hear that's coming out any day now.
Yeah. Well, it's coming.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Good night.